Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
My name's Matt.
How you doing, my friend?
Doing all right. How are you?
So-so. I'm so-so is how I'll say it. It's been a while since we got together and discussed some Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's been a whole 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
I got a new computer. I'm recording in a new part of my place, a different room. So apologies if it sounds different.
Whole new you.
Yeah. What about you? Anything new in your life?
I got a new computer too, but I'm still using the old one because I don't have the adapter, the dongle to connect to an Ethernet.
Right.
So we'll get there. But yeah, I'm trying to make some changes in my life, careers, things. Trying to see what else is out there in the world of pharmacy right now. So.
Oh, I hate to think though that I can't make any more like Mr. Pitt references.
Oh no! I'm still gonna be a pharmacist, but I wanna branch out from retail and see what else is out there.
Oh, nice.
My biggest thing is I want my weekends and my nights back is what I want. I know it's like a unicorn in the pharmacy profession, but it's out there, I hear. So
Oh, very cool.
I'm working on it. Stay tuned.
I'm also going through a career change. Sports, movies, talk show host. One of those.
You mean a career?
Well, Vinny, we're here today to discuss season 8. This is our season 8 recap. I say this at the end of every season. I can't believe we've made it this far. We only have one season left.
That is nuts.
Yeah. But, everyone knows the deal. During our recap, we're going to go over some of our favorite episodes, least favorite episodes, favorite secondary characters, bloopers, what have you. And then we have some listener emails and voicemails to go over. So let's kick it off with a general question here, Vinny. Your overall thoughts on season 8 and also how you rank it with the previous 7 seasons.
Okay, I'll start with my overall thoughts. Overall, I thought it was a solid season. Even more so knowing that it was Jerry and the writers who were at the helm, and we finally experienced the departure of Larry David. I thought it was very crafty of the writers to pick up season 8 right where season 7 ended. So not shying away from the Susan death finale of season 7, but just first shot, her picture. We're at the foundation. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I think Larry would appreciate that bold move. Mm-hmm. Also, I couldn't get over, as I'm going through the list of episodes, so many classic moments and phrases came out of this season that I think the mainstream, the media, and then the casual watchers, as well as the diehards, associate with Seinfeld. So just my little list here. You got Elaine's little kicks. You got the whole chicken roaster thing, little Jerry in the cockfight, the jerk store, timeless art of seduction, man hands, holy cow, yada yada, top of the muffin to you, and one of my favorites, although a lesser known, is, oh man, we're missing a death blow. So all these great moments are in season 8.
And you barely scratched the surface with those. You know what I mean? I'm
just tickling that surface.
Yeah. Oh.
Some of the best Steinbrenner stuff we got out of season 8. And what else? I forgot that Elaine started the season running the Peterman catalog. That was so long ago, because now Peterman's back and she's kind of an underling again. Mm-hmm. But I forgot that she was the numero uno at one point.
DeMaio.
So that's kind of my take on season 8. And people will wonder why I ranked it so low among all all the seasons, because my current ranking of all the seasons, and I think it may differ from what I've said in the past, but I'm going to say 4. I know, right? Here we go. Flip-flopping. 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 2, 8, 1.
I am...
Let me say that again?
No. It's good. I'm the exact same, except I might bump season 8 above season 2.
Okay. And again, I was torn because I'm a sucker for those classics, because it's just... I always say grounded in reality, and there's just real good stuff there. Jerry's such a nice guy, and I like that the show's kind of finding its way. Mm-hmm. But I was looking at the episodes in season 2, and I was comparing with 8, and I was like, I'd rather watch season 2. So that's kind of how I chose there.
There's an interesting parallel between season 2 and season 8. There's one episode before season 2, one season after season 8, and in both situations, Jerry is finding his way. He's finding his way when he starts the show, and he's finding his way when he's the only one kind of steering the ship. So
that's a great point.
So it's interesting to look at, how how he approaches the comedy of Seinfeld. And, to be more optimistic than I usually am, I do really applaud Jerry and the other writers for kind of taking control of the situation after Larry left, because, despite Larry not working on this season, he did come up quite a bit during our discussions. Like, would Larry have done this?
Exactly, yeah.
Does this feel right? So, it can sound pretty, I don't know, just cynical, like we're always crapping on season 8. But as you pointed out, some of the most popular and the funniest parts of Seinfeld come from season 8 and even season 9. So, they were really effective. I just think the overall tone, it's just a matter of taste. What do you prefer? And, I don't really prefer this kind of stuff. But having said that, we could talk, as you know, for hours about what we love. So, so I definitely missed Larry this season. I really wish that the show could have ended with him. But I am really happy with what Jerry and the other writers gave us. I always consider these to be the, dad's away, let's do whatever we want kind of episodes. So they're not as serious maybe as what came before.
But I guess if you compare Seinfeld's run to other shows where a major, an integral player to the series, whether it be an actor or somebody behind the scenes left, was there a drop off in quality? I don't think so.
Not in this case, but...
Yeah, so Seinfeld, no, but like shows like The Office, when Michael Scott, Steve Carell left, that was noticeable. I thought. I think the show suffered as a result of him leaving. And what would be another example?
Well, I want to actually jump ahead to an email here before we get started, just on that topic, because you're talking about something that one of our listeners wrote in about. Oh, here it is. David O'Donnell wrote an email, and he said, I wonder what Larry David must have thought about the 8th and 9th seasons, given how much he obsessed over the tiniest details during his tenure on the show. Yeah. He's always been polite, but noticeably tight-lipped when these later years come up on talk shows. I've never noticed this, by the way. I don't know if you have, but...
Yeah, he'll really... Now that you mention it, you're right. He only really will remark about the finale, because he was a part of that.
Of course. I guess he talks about like what it was like when he was working on Sour Grapes, and the show is continuing and having to go back and having to check in with a guard. I mean, that's great stuff. But, really what he thinks about the writing and whatnot. David continues here. All I've ever seen is several years ago where veteran TV writer Ken Levine quoted on his blog. See, that's why I paused there, because I'm like, should we go there? Ken Levine quoted on his blog about some advice that Larry got from Aaron Sorkin after Sorkin was booted from running The West Wing for its last seasons. Aaron received a call from Larry David. Having left Seinfeld, David had some advice. He told Sorkin not to watch the new version of West Wing. If it was bad, that would be upsetting. And if it was good, that would be upsetting. So there's no way to look at it. And apparently, Aaron Sorkin did watch an episode of the season after he left, and he turned it off immediately because he just didn't recognize the show anymore.
Aww, so that's fascinating.
Yeah, it happens. So I guess one could say that Larry David probably does not prefer any of these episodes over his, but
because to not be a part of something you created, I'm sure I could see not wanting to even look at that. That's not in his. When he thinks of Seinfeld, he doesn't think of season 8 and 9. He thinks of 1 through 7.
Right.
And I think we can even, I'm sure some of that came out in the Curb episode, The Surrogate, when he talks about your script being your baby, and then you turn it in, and then the studio heads change it, they change your baby, and then it's not your baby anymore. Somebody's changed my baby. So right. I think it's in that vein.
Sure. I figured we could keep talking about Larry David, but let's get on to the first part of the recap, which is our rankings segment. This is where we're going to talk about just favorite episodes, favorite characters. Let's kick it off with our top 5 favorite episodes. Spoilers, you can just check my top 24 rather to find my top 5. But Vinny, you had to come up with a few. Do you want to kick it off with your number 5?
Sure. And again, keep in mind, I hate doing this. I don't like ranking, but I do it because it's part of the show. And it's always tough for me to pick, as Jerry
because she had a gun to my head. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So number 5, I'm going to go with the chicken roaster.
Very nice.
Bad chicken mess you up.
Well, I'm going to jump ahead of you. That's my number 2.
Okay. So yeah, quality episode.
Love the
What
chicken
did you like
roaster.
about the chicken roaster?
Oh my God. It's all about Jerry and Kramer switching apartments, and
yes,
the iconic red light, the glow.
Yep.
Not only switching apartments, switching personalities, Mr. Marbles. Newman has a great scene, with the broccoli and the honey mustard and whatnot.
Then you got Seth, World College Buddies, Mookie's dead.
And this is funny. This happens during a recap. I can't remember Elaine or George's storyline.
I got you, buddy. Elaine uses the Peterman account to expense things, the rat hat.
The rat hat. Mm-hmm.
And George tries to score a second date with the Marissa Tomei broad. Mm-hmm. Oh, stanza. So, yeah, I think that's a solid episode through and through.
Excellent pick. Well, I think we're going to have a lot of back and forth here. So let me talk about my number 5, which is the Yada Yada.
Oh, you don't say, because that's my number 2.
Yeah, the Yada Yada, another classic, as you mentioned earlier, a classic line in the Seinfeld lexicon, pop culture. I think we get some great supporting characters that week with Mickey, Beth Lookner. We get some guest appearances by Robert Wagner.
Don't forget George's girlfriend, Marcy, who's excellent. Knocks it out of the park that week.
Yes, absolutely. Jill St. John, former Bond girl.
And not to mention the one, Tim Whatley.
Of course, probably the best Tim Whatley storyline from the entire series. So yeah, just great supporting characters that week. Great terms like yada yada, anti-dentite. I think it's really one for the books. All right, what's your number 4, Vinny?
My number 4 is the money. I was looking back, through the episode list, and I'm like, man, we did not get a lot of Frank Costanza, Estelle, and Morty and Helen episodes. Mm-hmm. But then I saw, man, the money. Jerry goes and buys back the Cadillac, and then I'm thinking of all the great scenes that we see down at Del Boca Vista, and that made the money want to pop into my number 4.
That really surprises me because that episode is never on my radar. Just in terms of like, what's it about or.
Well, I'm recalling. Oh, the scene that I was thinking of was they make it their home. They urinate in there, Right. So I'm just thinking I like Frank Costanza in Cabana Wear.
Yeah, and that brief moment, just seeing him walking around Florida, it's great that we have that image since we'll never get that spinoff,
Yep, and you get the callback to the pen because Jack Klompus lost his pen. It drove itself into the swamp. So there's some good things. But again, it's so hard for me I'm looking through these episodes. Any number of them could have made it in on a given day, but today's Wednesday, so the money's in there.
Very good. Well, my number 4 is a little episode called The Little Jerry. I love this episode. I think it's pretty wacky for Seinfeld, but I think it totally works. Yes. I love, again, there's something about, I've said this throughout Seincast, Kramer and Jerry teaming up for some just goofy task, whether it's like the kiss hello with the photos or like that brief moment when they confront the street toughs.
Street toughs.
Oh, I love that stuff. And then they run away. I love the idea of Kramer and Jerry training this rooster. I just think that's brilliant.
And Jerry gets so enthused about it when he tells George, he ran from here to Newman's in under 30 seconds.
Is that good?
I don't know. Don't forget we got great guest appearances, and I'm blanking on the names, but Marcelino as well as Kurt.
Yep, from the future. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just kind of like a fun, goofy episode, which I just think works really well.
And that final scene with the slow motion shots of each principal character, tamale, and it ends with Kramer being pecked to death by
to death.
Well, pecked incessantly by the bird from Ecuador.
That would be dark. Next episode, Kramer's dead.
Yeah, or he's missing an eye.
Oh, he has that eye patch. Mm-hmm. Well, what's your number 3, Vinny?
My number 3 is the Muffin Tops.
Mine too. We're in sync.
Sync it up. Yeah. This is the episode where I always get it mixed up. What imitates what? Art imitates life, which imitated art previously, right?
Oh, I think it starts with Kenny Kramer, and then you got Seinfeld based on him, which is the art, and then you've got Kenny Kramer starting the reality tour.
Boom.
And then you've got the show starting the reality tour. So
that's it. So funny the way they conceived of this idea to take what Kenny Kramer did and run with it, and you got some great Kramer stuff. We got the Jiffy Dump guy. A great cameo for him to come back. Pizza Pound Cake, and I feel like I'm leaving things out, but I just thought that was a solid episode from start to finish.
Don't forget the title of the episode, The Muffin Tops. You got Elaine with Mr. Littman returning. Rebecca De Mornay.
Yes, and Peterman is in there as well. You're the gangly fellow we bought those stories from.
That's right, yeah.
What's your name, darling? Oh, and Jerry shaves his chest, and because his girlfriend likes it hairless.
Right. Yeah, a lot going on in that episode. And
George pretends to be a tourist. Tyler Chicken.
I mentioned during our recording how much that episode means to me because it was the first episode I ever saw, or at least really connected with. Like I was aware of what I was watching, and I was in love with Seinfeld ever since it originally aired. So yeah, that episode not only holds a special place in my heart, it's I think an excellent episode from the later years. But well, Vinny, let's move on to your number 2. Or did we already talk about that?
My number 2 was the yada yada, so we got to go to your, and we already did your number 2.
Oh,
so
I guess
we're number 1.
Mine is the chicken roaster. Yeah. So number 1, let's say it together here. 1, 2, 3.
The Bizarro Jerry.
Yes, the Bizarro Jerry. Not only our favorite episode from the season, but also the listeners as well.
Can you blame him?
Right.
It's a damn fine episode.
Absolutely, man. I can't think of any better episode actually from the last 2 seasons here, the non-Larry David years, than the Bizarro Jerry.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This could have been the finale, and I think it just won the hearts of everyone. But the fact that they switch up the dynamic, the whole system's breaking down, and Elaine being the center point of the Mayana, sorry. Get my things mixed up here.
Well, that's good. But, what is the Mayana doing mañana?
All right. But them switching it up and you seeing how, I don't know, you're seeing Seinfeld through a different lens, through a wholesome lens. It was exactly the opposite for me, and I got to see a different side of the show, and the way they played on all the tropes I thought was excellent. Loved Kevin, Gene, and Feldman, and Fargus, and Jake, and Allison, But so I always forget that is the Man Hands episode. That kind of, even though it's a big part of Seinfeld, that kind of gets overshadowed for me by the Bizarre Jerry storyline. Right.
You also have George using the photo to get into the Forbidden City.
Private party.
And Kramer going to work at Brant Leland with his briefcase of crackers.
Love that name.
So yeah, there's kind of a lot going on, but the title Bizarro Jerry and just that whole bizarro world really overshadows the whole episode. To me, it's just all about that shot of Elaine standing on the sidewalk, looking to her left. There are the guys, then looking to her right. There are the bizarro versions, and they all kind of come together. It's like a comic book cover, and even the whole premise is very comic booky, and I think that, says a lot about Dave Mendel's interests, and I'm just really glad he was able to get that into not only a Seinfeld episode, but really ranks it among one of the best.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget how fun it was as fans to look and see what they sprinkled throughout the episode, little references to past moments in the show, and the Bizarro Jerry statue, the unicycle on the wall. It was so much fun to do that episode.
Mm-hmm. It really was. And, it was funny, too. You have mentioned or at least alluded to that episode since, I don't know, season 3, season 4. Because we used to joke, are we going to have any episodes post season 5 crack our top 20? And you're like, well, there's one in season 8 that I love.
What's it going to be?
So there you go. Well, I'll go over some of the other favorite episodes from our listeners. Bizarro Jerry was number 1, Chicken Roaster number 2, Yada Yada number 3, Little Jerry number 4. So a lot in line with our rankings. However, one episode neither of us mentioned, the listener's 5th favorite episode, The Comeback.
Okay, so Riley, Jerk Store, Shrimp, Ocean,
Coma, Vincent.
Oh, Vincent. Hello.
Yeah, so I like that the listeners, we're all in sync here. This is nice.
Does it say something about the writing that you, me, and the listeners all had very similar tastes in our top 5 versus, I don't remember I feel like for old recaps, they were kind of spread across the board.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is probably the first season where everyone's sort of on the same page. I think that's because maybe the older episodes, there was just so much, there were so many solid, great episodes spread out this season. Whereas I think in season 8, not that the episodes are bad, I think the good ones tend to just rise up higher than the ones surrounding them.
Yeah.
But speaking of maybe the episodes that don't rise to the top, let's talk about your favorite segment of our recap. This is our bottom 3, at least the episodes we either they're our least favorite. You might even say you hate these episodes. I doubt you'll use that word.
I would never say that.
Or maybe episodes that we just think are bad. And it's interesting. This was a much easier list to come up with in previous seasons.
Yeah, you're right.
There are certain episodes like early on season 2 and 3, even in season 7, that I'm like, I hate this episode. I don't like it. I had a tougher time this time around. So
I kept typing it in and then deleting it, putting something else and So, but finally whittled it down.
In no particular order. Do you just want to like bounce an episode back and forth here?
Giddy up.
All right. What do you got?
My first is going to be the Andrea Doria.
It's on my list as well.
Oh, okay. So bounce away.
Yeah.
For some reason, I never get excited for this one. George recounting the astonishing tales of Costanza when he's trying to get the apartment is good. You got Jerry delivering the mail. But whenever I see this episode come on, I'm just like, nah, I can't wait for, what else is on kind of thing.
Yeah, I love it's really wacky, but the Kramer dog stuff I love. So, every once in a while.
Smuckers?
Yeah, Smuckers and...
Oh. What is it, boy?
Bad neighbor. Kramer. It's funny how like an episode of Seinfeld can have like 4 storylines we love, or just ideas or moments, but all in all, it might not click. I think I recall this episode not having a whole lot of overlap. Like the ending kind of tied together with Kramer being Lassie and the old mill restaurant and whatnot,
yep.
But yeah, it's one of those episodes I'm never too excited to put on.
Yeah, so.
Well, 2 episodes I feel the same way about on my list. First up is The English Patient. Yeah, a classic movie mentioned on Seinfeld, a classic premise, but the whole Neil storyline with George trying to find out like who Neil is, I find to be so tedious and boring, really. As well as the whole English Patient storyline. It's kind of the same joke over and over again.
Right.
I like Kramer's enthusiasm with the Cubans, especially like with Guillermo when he's like, what is it? Like, it's like a cigar made out of Bisquick, eh, Guillermo?
Exactly.
Love that.
Yeah, they got a nice little rapport. I enjoyed the Cubans in that episode as well as the Mandelbaum storyline.
Right, and here where you're going to get, or I'm going to ruffle some feathers here. I don't care much for the Mandelbaums. I don't hate them. They're no who's that guy, Ray from the
Ochinsky?
Yeah, Ray Ochinsky or Mr. Pocatello or. But yeah, there's something about the Mandelbaums that just always, it just didn't click with me, and I didn't really see what the big deal was. But I do love that. This is so stupid. I love that people love them. That gets me excited. Okay. But personally, I could leave them. I don't really care much.
You have no ear for comedy,
right? But what's another episode of yours, Vinny?
Another episode that I didn't care for was the Fatigues. So for some reason, I prefer Elaine to have to answer to Peterman rather than being the head of the company, and her taking on Eddie Sherman as her little protege. Him wearing the fatigues. I thought that was a little bonkos. So and again, I think when we discussed it, we're like, oh, we're in seasons 8. There's a guy wearing fatigues at work. I don't know. The mentor protege stuff is good. Great war flashback with Frank Costanza. That's one of the highlights I think of the season. But overall, the fatigues are a little fatiguing.
Okay. It's funny. I might not feel the same way, but I totally see where you're coming from with your list so far. Well, another episode on my list here is the Van Buren Boys. Now, hear me out, everyone, before you throw your phones across the room. I kind of relate this to The English Patient, where it's, very popular title, very popular concept, beloved. But when it really boils down to it, I found the episode to be really boring. And I think everyone's storyline is just sort of the same joke over and over, like with Jerry and Ellen, Christine Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Every scene is like, she's great, no one else likes her.
She's a loser.
Right. The whole, I like the scene with Elaine and Peterman in his apartment, but
oh yes,
I think that's that episode. But I don't really care much for like Kramer being like, you can't tell this story. That's Peterman's now. Like, I don't know. It just feels like a lot of time gets eaten up by just sort of boring storylines or just sort of the same joke over and over again. What about you?
My last episode that I threw in here was The Abstinence. Hear me out. The strongest storyline obviously was Kramer's crinkly, craggly face due to the 72 hours of smoking. But the other stories I thought were kind of so-so. George has mono, can't have sex. Elaine dates a doctor. And Jerry has his career day. So when I think about those, I'm like, yeah, nothing. What else? What moved me with those storylines? And I can't really think of anything.
Right.
Rick James, Super Freak. Yes! That woman. But I mean, the highlights of that episode include, Kramer, look away, I'm hideous.
Right. And teaming up with Jackie Chiles again.
Yes.
Again, it's just amazing. We might not care for an episode as a whole, but there's just some great stuff to pick apart.
Well, you wanted this list, so here it is.
But Vinny, let's move on to another segment here, which we call our favorite secondary character. Now, I used to make rules for this, like they don't have to be introduced in season 8, but they have to appear in, more than, I guess, 3 episodes, what have you. I'm talking about
syllables in their name.
Yeah, and these people might have shown up on our list before. That's fine. It's just if they had a great episode this season or a great season as a whole. So,
interesting, because I might have to amend mine because one of my characters didn't have a great season, but he's my favorite secondary, so I threw him in the list.
Well, hell, who cares? Let's do it.
All right.
Who do you got?
Number 1, I'm going with Steinbrenner. I was so glad that they brought Larry back to do some dialogue, and they still had George with his job at the Yankees, which is my favorite, I think, George job of all the jobs he's had over the years. But I felt like the dialogue they wrote for Larry was so spot on. It was great. I couldn't tell the difference between a Larry written Steinbrenner and then a Jeff Schaefer or just season 8 staff writer written Steinbrenner. But I like that they gave Steinbrenner more physical comedy. You had him like running throughout the I'm in the building kind of thing. So great job by Lee Bear and Mitch Mitchell providing those stunts.
Yeah, that was huge too. Finding out that Lee Bear is not the only Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
Of course, there was the guy who played the silhouette in the opposite. I forget who that was, but Mitchell filling in for Lee Bear for a couple episodes was pretty interesting.
Another Steinbrenner?
Excellent pick, though. I know how much you love your Steinbrenner, which is why I think back in season 6 we created the category our favorite Steinbrenner scene from the season. So we'll get to that in a few here. But good pick. I'm gonna go with a classic secondary character here, who, of course, everyone knows this guy. He's really the number 5 on the show, Mr. Newman. I know that's sort of like low-hanging fruit, but I just think
it's there for a reason.
I think Newman just had a great season with, let's start it off with A Soulmate, where he's kind of that Cyrano de Bergerac giving Kramer the romantic language to use to pick up Pam. You've also got, what else? Oh, his Newmanium party and how he's planning that and just all the excitement and craziness.
It gets him a lot of Elaine.
Yeah, we find out he has this huge crush on Elaine.
He gets a vasectomy for her.
Oh, that's right, yeah. There's also the package, that classic interrogation scene. Pretty hot under these lights, huh, Seinfeld? Pretty hot.
Actually, I'm quite comfortable.
And I mentioned the chicken roaster earlier with the broccoli, the vile weed. I don't know, just a great season for Newman. And wanted to give him a little nod here in this section.
Oh, he had probably one of the best moments, I think, in Noises when Jerry said, "Making your party 1 year late and thus quite lame." And I can't mimic the noise. So I'm not gonna. Squink.
Who else you got in your list here, Vinny?
So this one I put in there purely because he is my number one favorite secondary character, although he rarely appears in season 8. So I might have to amend him, and maybe I'll steal one of yours. But I picked Frank Costanza. He's my all-time favorite secondary character. I made reference to that line earlier. They don't nap, they urinate in there. Him and Estelle going at it. And then you got that wonderful, wonderful war flashback. They were just boys, and he takes a shot at Hennigan's. So yeah, and the whole Knights of Columbus scene.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
As well as all right, where's my boy? A bootlegger.
Right. Oh, the ending of The Little Kicks is one of the all-time best endings to an episode for sure.
Okay, I stand by my choice then. He does have enough to warrant a season 8 secondary character top 3.
Excellent pick. Well, I'm going to move on to, let's see, we mentioned him earlier, so no surprise here, but Tim Whatley, Dentist to the Stars. I think the best Tim Whatley storyline. I think he only had 5 appearances on Seinfeld, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, this is the one everyone remembers. I think it's the best one, converting to Judaism purely for the jokes. Just great stuff there. I feel like we also get kind of like a different Tim Whatley. Every appearance, we learn something new about this guy. He wants to go downtown with Elaine. He's having sex with his patients. He's converting to Judaism, all this stuff. But there's something about the Tim Whatley in this episode, the yada yada, that I just find to be the most iconic Tim Whatley. That short hair.
You're right. Yes.
Give me a shtickle of fluoride. It's cavity time. I don't know. It's a fantastic, I think, storyline for Tim Whatley, and Bryan Cranston just does an awesome job.
He really does evolve as a character, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. He seems like a nice dentist to the stars, and then becomes a little bit sleazy. Then he converts for jokes, and then he's going to be really sleazy next season, right?
I think so. He picks a Happy Hanukkah, Tiffany.
Well, I was talking about we like to swap now and then. Is that next season?
That's actually you
already had that.
That was back when he was having sex with his patients. Yeah.
So he's a sleazeball.
Yeah. Who else you got in your list?
My last person to make my list was an oldie but goodie, Mr. Lippman. Aww. I thought it was so great that they brought him back because he goes way back to the first third of Seinfeld. But, he's now working for Pundit Publishing, which is awesome. His little jab about, every 2-bit comedian has a book nowadays. I love that joke. His blatant theft of Elaine's muffin top idea. And then only to see him wearing that little paper hat. So I thought that was really nice to bring him back and have him, him and Elaine actually team up in a sense.
Yeah, they do. And it's interesting how Lippman is on good terms with Elaine, especially, well, there's the whole, Juji fruit fiasco. And then they kind of met up again with the, did they meet up with the Jake Jarmel with the glasses? But I guess Lippman never really tied a lot of his failings to Elaine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's nice to see them like working together. I always liked Mr. Lippman. Good pick. Well, this character goes all the way back to season 3, like Mr. Lippman. And I'm not sure if he's really a secondary character because he only has 2 appearances on Seinfeld, but I'm going with good old Mike Moffat.
Ooh, solid pick.
That appearance, or performance rather, in the Susie is just, I think, one of the all-time best. Him.
Oh, yeah.
He's just so... I don't even know how to describe his performance when he accuses Jerry of murder.
He's so committed to it, and so you believe somebody just tried to kill him.
Right, and he's been trapped in a trunk for probably a day or 2.
I think it's a testament to how funny he is if you watch the bloopers, because he cracks everybody up in that room, and he kind of commits to the role, and he's still looking around after everybody's cracking up. As well as the shots of him in the trunk. Jerry!
Or when the trunk slams. Ah!
Yeah, his eyes go upward into his head.
Yeah, he can really, bounce between the Jerry Seinfeld to earlier when he's like, I'll get you the money, Jerry, I swear. He can really become like a groveling little...
He's a chameleon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Lee Arenberg, great performance as Mike Moffat. We, of course, saw him first in the parking space in season 3.
Yeah, awesome that they call back to the whole phony reference.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to a similar category here, but we get to talk about more special performances here. These are our favorite single shots. They're special because single shots really only appear in one episode of Seinfeld. They might stretch into two, but for the most part, we like to just keep them one and done. Who is one of your favorite single shots, Vinny, from season 8?
I'm going to try and win the listeners back and further make you seem like a pariah, but I'm going to go with Izzy Mandelbaum. He does come back in the blood, but it's still the same storyline, which is, the same kind of shtick he does. But him lifting that barbell and pump it, I love everything about Lloyd Bridges, and I think the cast, Jerry in particular, were really excited to work with him and bring this kind of comic legend onto set. So that was really nice to see. But I love the whole Mandelbaum family and your macho head games. I really like seeing Lloyd Bridges on Seinfeld.
I'm trying to. What's the line the son has that we love?
Why didn't anyone tell? Oh, you think you're better than my dad?
Yeah, it's such a weird delivery.
You're gonna pick that guy as your single shot?
Yes. Is he Junior? No. My favorite single shot from this season. He's probably on your list, and he might be a polarizing character for a lot of listeners. But I'm talking about another game for Milos.
Excellent choice.
Yes.
He isn't on my list as well.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Love Milos. This character is just insane. And for me, it strikes a great balance between a character I hate, but I love, he's so pathetic, and he treats Jerry so horribly in that episode.
Get his wife.
Yeah. He prostitutes his wife to Jerry just so he can, save face. It's very bizarre, but I love this character. Every line he has is so quotable. Great accent.
Come on, what you doing?
What are you doing? And I don't feel like Jerry and Milos are really playing an intense game of tennis. Like, it doesn't look like it, but by the end, Milos is just exhausted. He's sweating. The racket's going flying.
Getting hit by sweat.
Yeah, so I love me some Milos, and I'm glad it made your list as well. Who else you got?
My third. When I decided to pick my third, I had a feeling we might have picked the same. We might have had some overlap, so I picked a more obscure third single shot. But I'm going with Kevin of Bizarro Jerry fame.
Very good.
The me so happy, me want to cry. I love that actor. He was in Carnival as well as White Collar. And I just like him. I like seeing a wholesome version of Jerry. And you know what? I think I like short hair. He's so goofy and Magooish. So I really enjoyed him and thought he was a great single shot.
Yeah, right on. I'm glad you included him. Well, you mentioned this during the discussion of the Summer of George, but are you a huge fan of, say it?
Lou.
Yeah, Louis Maxtone Graham, one of the Scarsdale surprise producers. You're a huge fan of this character, right?
Oh, my goodness. Is pompous the right word to describe him?
Yeah, he's a little full of himself, I guess. She's a train wreck.
There's a lot of this when you tap dance.
Yeah, great actor, great character. And, hey, want to give another shout-out to a character in that episode? Good old Lyle, hey, Jerry, what's up? I mean, he is a true single shot, right? Like, very few scenes, very few lines, but very memorable.
I had a huge crush on that guy, I remember, right? When we talked about that?
Follically.
Yeah, well, he's a man.
Yeah, but yeah, some great single shots this season. But we didn't really talk about this at the top. It was really tough to break this season down for our recap. I don't know if I was forgetting characters or forgetting storylines, but I'm sure there's going to be a ton of characters we remember once we wrap recording. We're like, why didn't we mention him? Why didn't we mention her?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe I just know the older episodes better, or I prefer them. But when I was going through the list, I'm like, man, I forget that we watched this and talked about it. So sorry if we excluded anybody.
Here, one just came to mind that I want to give a shout out to. Mrs. Hamilton in the...
Oh, yes.
What was that storyline?
I feel so dried out inside.
Is that the Millennium, I guess?
Yes, with the speed dial.
Yeah, it's so great channeling that, Mrs. Robinson, Anne Bancroft thing.
Yeah.
She does a great job too.
Oh, you don't like Gladys Mayo? She didn't make your list?
No.
I'll put her. Maybe she'll be my favorite villain.
I still think it's glad it's Mayo, but we'll discuss that later, I guess. Vinny, let's move on to our favorite villains or antagonists from season 8. There might be some overlap, with single shots and secondary characters, but in no particular order, why don't you start us off?
I'll start with little Big Yeti is making a big mistake, Yeti. Marcelino of the Bodega.
Very good. Who's 164th Mayan?
Yes, they're fitting. Nice segue. High five. Yeah, he played a great sleazy bodega / cockfighting ring runner. So I thought he was great, and I don't know, he was great.
Yeah, I don't know like how big a foil he is for Jerry and Kramer, but he definitely had that presence this season of just that villain type, and he even helps send them to jail in the finale.
That's true.
So he's always sticking it to them.
Even though he's an antagonist, he's a very likable antagonist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to go with, let's see here, from the from the Little Kicks, very scary individual. We get at least one scary, dangerous guy each season, and this time it's Brody. Yeah, just a very creepy, dangerous individual who needs to borrow a bat, no glove, wears a gun to the movie theater.
He's one of the few characters to be walking around with a gun in Seinfeld, right?
Yeah, and I think we talked about it during the episode. He feels like something out of like season 2 or 3, when just the show in New York felt a little grittier, characters were more dangerous. But yeah, I really like Brody. Maybe not too many memorable lines, but just his presence and how Kramer and Jerry are just so terrified of this guy and what he's going to do. Well, actually, Kramer kind of goes back and forth. Some days he's like, yeah, he's okay. And then he's like, I'm terrified of him. So a lot of fun with Brody. And I just love that whole bootlegging storyline. Who else you got?
I brought him up earlier, but the Jiffy Dump guy. That's what I'd like to know about it. His voice, his timbre, whatever it is, it's so good. And he just first it was with George with the parking lot in a previous season, but now it's Kramer this time with maybe I will take it up with some consumer affairs. It was great.
Yeah, I forget the term real life Jerry uses, but one of Jerry's favorite parts about Seinfeld is how there are these characters, supporting or single shot characters who, for whatever reason, just don't like the main four and do whatever they can to make things more difficult for them. Like the Chinese delivery guy from China Panda. Like, just give Elaine the food. Like, who cares?
Or just let him dump it.
Right.
Can't do it.
Great character. And did we ever come down on this? Is it the same guy from the parking lot, or is it like a twin brother? Or
no. He is the, I think, sole proprietor. He owns and operates all Jiffy Enterprises. He's probably got all sorts of Jiffy locations throughout the city. Different, got his foot in many camps.
All right. Well, who else we got here? One of my favorites. Apologies if I steal it from you, Vinny. But I'm going with Rebecca De Mornay from the homeless shelter.
Yes. Her and Elaine almost came to blows, it looked like.
She's kind of a single shot, but she comes back in the bookstore to make George's life a little difficult. But that fight between her and Elaine, I think, is just one of the all-time bests. And I don't know. I don't know if it was the writing or if it's the actress who just nailed it out of the park. But to me, she's one of the most memorable, just random characters to come out of season 8.
I think you just love that chicken skins and lobster shells line so much.
Anyone else? I think we kind of came up short with our list here. Do you have a third?
Yeah, I actually did it as a group, but with a leader. I went with the disgruntled Cubans, mainly Guillermo, because I love the way Kramer. You saw this kind of evolution of them taking to Castro's beliefs. Going after El Presidente, and then hijacking the plane to Cuba. And I love that shot of Guillermo kind of scooting past Elaine with the tight number one dad shirt. And and shut that movie off. So that's my number 3.
Great pick. I like that. That took me by surprise. And I might, I didn't come up with a third one, so I'm going to take one of those Dominicans from you.
Sure.
Well, Vinny, let's move on to, I'm sure, your favorite segment of our recap. This is our favorite Steinbrenner scene. Now, this shouldn't be too difficult to come up with. Steinbrenner was only in 3 episodes this season: The Nap, The Millennium, and The Muffin Tops. Still, several scenes within those episodes. Do you have a favorite scene so we can, play a clip from it?
I love them all.
Well, how about we do this? I chose my favorite scene from The Nap.
Okay.
Pretty much, here, I'll set it up and I'll play it while you decide. This is when, Steinbrenner, there's been a few bomb threats to Yankee Studios or Stadium. And, later they call in the bomb squad. But this pretty much goes from when Steinbrenner hears the clock ticking to when they investigate George's office.
Heartbreaker, Brewbaker. Hey, George, I remember that tune. George? George! What's that ticking? Oh. Oh, fire in the hole!
Sir, I'm sure it's not a bomb.
Yeah, don't be so brave, George. You mess with them and they're messing with you. All right, boys, send it in. Wait, what's that thing straight ahead? Is that anything? Is that Mothra? Okay, let's check the desk. That's where I heard the ticking. We're going to search each one of those drawers, starting with the top one. It's just empty calories and male curiosity, eh, George?
Looks like there's more compartments underneath.
Compartments underneath. That's probably where it is. Okay, boys, let it rip. I'll tell you what, George, starting tomorrow, no more desks. Just a lucite table and 4 legs.
Excellent pick.
I just love that, whoa, 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 fire in the hole! And you got the empty calories, male curiosity, that's always a classic. What is that? Is that Mothra? So, just a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
In there.
So
hopefully I didn't steal your number 1.
I got plenty of backups. Let's shift to the Millennium because I really enjoy the scene when George is trying to get fired, and rather than Steinbrenner be angry with George, he sides with him and saying, you know what, we got to look forward to this. We got to look onward and upward or whatever, And when he talks about learning about Babe Ruth, here's something I just found out.
Wanted to see me, sir?
I heard about what happened at the meeting this morning.
Oh, yes. I already packed up my desk, sir, so I can be out of here in an hour.
And I have to tell you, it's exactly what this organization needed. We want to look to the future, we've got to tear down the past. Babe Ruth was nothing more than a fat old man with little girl legs. And here's something I just found out recently. He wasn't really a sultan. Huh? What do you make of that? Hey, check this out. Lou Gehrig's pants. Not a bad fit. Hey, you don't think that nerve disease of his was contagious, do you? Better take them off. I'm too important to this team. Big Stein can't be flopping and twitching. Hey, how about some lunch? What are you going for?
Giving
Not a bad fit, huh?
Giving George a nice crotch shot there. Well, Vinny, were there any other Steinbrenner scenes that you at least want to give a shout out to? We don't have a clip for them, but...
Some honorable mentions, him trying to figure out the lines with heartbreaker, love taker, oh. And then when he's seeing his grandkids, let the little tykes in. Who are you, Shorty? Mel? The whole February. Yeah, girl. February. What is this rue? And then from the Muffin Tops, his oh, George, sorry, didn't know you had a girl in here. And then finally with the when he's marveling at George, days with the Yankees, nights with Tyler Chicken. I am blown away, George. Blown. There's more. Whoa.
I think you got them all. Nice work.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to another segment here where we're going to be talking about our favorite girlfriend and boyfriends of the main 4. Interesting to note, I think some of the characters came up a little short this season.
Okay. Love wasn't on on the minds of the writers, I guess, for season 8.
Especially with Kramer. We had this issue last year where George, was engaged to Susan and had some pseudo date with Marissa Tomei. So,
oh yeah, can I use her as one of my favorite girlfriends for this season too?
Well, which character should we start off with here, Vinny? Maybe Kramer, since he only had 2 girlfriends.
Yeah, let's work our way backwards.
All right. Well, technically Kramer dated, or at least had something going on with Pam.
Yes.
In The Soulmate, because she got his velvet scrunchie, and she even said, I have a bit of a crush on him.
I'm so happy.
So that's going to be my pick. I'm a big fan of Pam. I mentioned on that episode how much I love that it's the same actress from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which is one of my guilty pleasures. It's a great Freddy movie. But I always liked Pam, even before that whole connection. I always enjoyed this actress. I always thought she had like a little, I think we talked about this too, Meryl Streep thing going on.
Yes, she does.
But I love how giddy Kramer is around her. He never talks about a woman like he does Pam. I'm so happy. My world suddenly has meaning.
I love her, Jerry.
And I also like the premise, which I'm surprised this doesn't happen on Seinfeld all that often, of the love triangle. Who's 2 of the characters pining for someone else. So.
Well, you got George, Jerry, and Janet, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's perverse.
Or even George, Jerry, and Amanda. No.
Well, do you want to pick the other Kramer girlfriend, or are you gonna?
I do, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was going to pick Emily. I love Sarah Silverman as a comedian and actress, and I really enjoyed seeing that dynamic of them as this pseudo-married couple, kind of seeing what Frank and Estelle were like with the separate beds, and I can't believe I let you talk me into that corned beef at Schnitzer's.
No one held a gun to your head.
Exactly. They're your friends. I've had it with them.
You like them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great line. But I thought she did an excellent job. So I'm a Emily supporter.
Well, let's move on to, let's see. How about Elaine? Let's talk about Elaine.
Elaine.
Now, I don't want to jump the gun here, but you mentioned Kevin earlier. Would Kevin still be your favorite Elaine boyfriend?
Well, one would think that I would side with Kurt, who is from the future and follically challenged, such as myself. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Kevin purely because I love the character overall, and I like how he's so agreeable with Elaine. Liking the short hair as well as maybe I want kids, a lot of kids. And then he's completely quick to change. He really has no backbone. But the whole, yeah. So I think for that reason, I'm going to make Kevin my favorite Elaine boyfriend.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd be surprised if you didn't. I know how much you love the Bizarro Jerry. I was stuck too because I like Kurt as well from the little Jerry from the future. But I'm not sure like if I really felt a lot of a connection between Kurt and Elaine. Mm-hmm. I mean, she likes him, obviously, but...
I love the ring more.
Right. And I also want to give a shout-out to Bob Odenkirk, who plays Ben. But
elevate your legs!
But I really felt a nice connection between... Not nice, but like a funny, solid connection between Elaine and Brett from the Czechs. This is the guy who loves Desperado.
Yeah.
And she tries to get him into Witchy Woman, and he's like, Elaine, can you not talk for 4 minutes? Yeah.
Song, babe. The song.
It's just so bizarre. And outside of the relationship, when he goes to Jerry's apartment and he's like, I'll be happy to get you something if that's what you're driving at. Just so disrespectful to Jerry. Almost, there's some pity there that Jerry just can't crack it.
Are we forgetting a boyfriend?
Oh, am I?
We're forgetting Langerhans?
Oh, I considered him as well, but again, remember he came up a little flat, I thought?
Oh, no, I just in the list among her boyfriends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there's the list. The list I created was just sort of like...
The tops.
I usually put like 4 in there, and then I choose it on the spot.
Okay.
But yeah, do you like Langerhans or Kitzmiller?
No, I like him for that joke when Kramer never being able to remember his name, but other than that.
Right, that's the tricky thing about these boyfriends and girlfriends. Is it just for like... a joke, or is it their compatibility? Is it your attraction to the actor or the actress?
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, let's get Lyle and Elaine together.
Oh boy,
in swaddling clothes.
Let's move on to George here, Georgie boy. I think George had a pretty, I don't know, solid run this season in terms of girlfriends, especially post, Susan. Who's your favorite girlfriend of George's?
Well, she was one of my favorite single shots too, but Marcy from the Yada Yada. How succinct she was, and I love talking to you. But that line always gets me. Then I skipped out on the bill. Every time it gets me. So she's my favorite girlfriend.
So you can hear me typing here. I want to find out her character name. I guess it's Lori on Silicon Valley. She's like one of the head honchos. I can't tell you, Vinny, how many people wrote in saying their mind was blown. They never connected that
Oh, wow.
That Marcy and Lori, it's the same actress, Susan Cryer.
The characters are night and day. I only remember her from the first season, like the first appearance of her, because I stopped following Silicon Valley. But I knew instantly that her voice and that look. I was like, that's Yada Yada.
You're right. It is night and day. I mean, the hair is different, but she's very that's part of her character on Silicon Valley. Just very dry, monotone delivery, almost robotic.
Yes.
But yeah, excellent pick with Marcy. And again, that's the thing I love about Seincast is, I sort of think I know how I feel about an episode or a character. I never once noticed how great Suzanne Cryer was in the Yada Yada until I rewatch. So it's very rewarding to revisit these episodes, years later.
You just got me thinking, what would have been a cool idea for the finale, having, 25 years to think about it. But when they're in prison, if they're walking down a cell block and they see other characters that were in prison during the Seinfeld run. So whether it be Marcy, see you in 6 to 8 months, or Kurt for that matter. Was Babu in prison? Or did he get out?
He got deported.
Deported, okay. But anybody else that was arrested during the series
great.
run, that would have been kind of cool to see the gang. I'm going to cut you. See them in prison with the gang.
Oh, that's excellent. I love that.
Damn.
Nice. Can I just say something that blew my mind?
What do you want?
I don't know if it's common knowledge, but let's jump ahead real quick. We're sandwiching this in during the wrong segment. But in the finale, when Larry David, he does the voice of that character that's like, "You suck, I'm going to cut you," as you just quoted. Jerry said, "You, sir, what are you in for?" He's like, "Grand Theft Auto." Could that be the same guy that stole Jerry's car in the alternate side?
You son of a bitch.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Man, you've done it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The brown gloves.
The isotoners, yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah, let's retcon that.
All right.
You heard it here first, everybody.
Yeah, if anyone's made it this far into the recap, I think that's very possible.
Get Peter Melman on the phone. I want to tell him this idea.
Well, Vinny, just to help save time here, I'm also going with Marcy, so there we go. Let's move on to Jerry. Now, I originally had Pam as my favorite Jerry girlfriend, but since she was my favorite Kramer girlfriend, let's talk about some other characters. Why don't you go first here?
I had a liking. I tended to like Jerry and Toothbrush in the Toilet Bowl together. Jenna.
Very good.
I liked how kind of sweet and innocent she was, and the fact that Jerry screwed her over so badly by dropping her toothbrush in the toilet bowl and not telling her, and then her seeking revenge on him in the most devious but simplified way possible by not telling him what she stuck in the toilet bowl. I thought was genius. So yeah, she is the number one, I guess, girlfriend and ex-girlfriend for Jerry right now.
Right, and it's kind of cool to see. I don't know, like a relationship within a story end with like her getting the one up on Jerry, because usually they just break up. She just storms out and that's it. But or I'm sorry, no, it doesn't end there. It ends with Jerry saying, "Have a good life." Never mind.
Yeah, but we see. Yes, you're right.
I thought it ended with Jenna winning. It doesn't.
Well, I guess if you count her dating Banya in the next episode, then that would be her winning. But
good point. Yeah, there's something about Jenna and Jerry. It looks like they have some compatibility, at least for 22 minutes.
Yeah. What do you got?
It's a brief appearance, but I'm going to go with Jillian, better known as Man Hands in the Bizarre Jerry. I love Jillian. I just love the concept. I love that scene where she just, you're just missing it. And she grabs his face, the hand crushing. I feel like Jerry is a little mean to her with, there's a beach towel on the rack or
Yep.
a creature out of Greek mythology. A little harsh, but
Make a wish.
but I like the premise of Jillian and man hands. And
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty interesting too. We learned in that episode that Dave Mendel, I think he referred to his wife as having farm hands,
Yes.
which, no surprise, really offended her.
Okay.
That's kind of how he wrote it into the episode with man hands. On the flip side, my wife has commented how... my wife
Use
has
your words
commented...
carefully.
She said how soft and delicate my hands are.
Ah.
Yeah, I guess that when you avoid manual labor your whole life, but yeah, I always feel like, should I be offended by that? Like, is that like a blow against my masculinity here? Shouldn't I have like calluses and scars and
she's like, "You're gonna run away like a mouse."
Then I put my hands back in the ivory liquid, just soaking them. Well, let's move on to our favorite character moment of the main 4 from season 8. Just want to put it out there. There are so many classic character moments in this season, and we can only pick one. Vinny, you and I were talking about it. It seemed like the ones that came to mind first are really the most mainstream, familiar moments. So
Yeah.
we tried to strike a balance between the familiar stuff and maybe the less popular stuff. We'll see how we do. But let's start off with Mr. Kramer. What was your favorite Kramer moment or Kramer scene from season 8?
Mr. Kramer. So there's a physical gag, which is kind of hard to recreate on an audio medium. So I'm going to give you 2. I love when Kramer is recounting stories to Elaine for the Peterman book, and he trips on the golf ball. And John O'Hurley described Kramer as Michael as falling up, like as a classic physical comedian to fall upwards. You know what I mean? And when you watch it, he really does do that. His feet go up into the air. So I love that as a physical moment with Kramer. But in terms of dialogue and just overall moments, great bloopers to come from the scene as well. It's this scene from the Abstinence.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you should come over. Tonight's pipe night.
What happened to your face? It looks like an old catcher's mitt.
Face is all craggly. It's crinkly.
It's from all that smoke. You've experienced a lifetime of smoking in 72 hours. What did you expect?
Well, emphysema, birth defects, cancer, but not this. Jerry, my face is my livelihood. Everything I have I owe to this face. It's my allure, my twinkle.
And your teeth are all brown.
Look away, I'm hideous.
Excellent pick, man. Great scene on its own, but also a great blooper to go with it. Excellent pick. Very happy with that one. Well, I was going to go with another scene from The Abstinence where he meets Jackie, and Jackie's doing this whole the man's a goblin, or your face is my case. But I'm going to go with the scene from The Soulmate where Kramer is meeting Pam at the bookstore and Newman is on the other side of the bookshelf whispering some sweet words into his ear.
Your looks and my words will have built the perfect beast.
Oh, hi, Kramer.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
I too am well.
I, too, am well.
Do I smell Pantene?
Do I smell?
Pantene!
Pantene.
Oh, my shampoo. Yeah. It is Pantene. I got a free sample of it in with my junk mail.
Well, there really is no junk mail. Oh, everybody wants to get a check or a birthday card, but...
It requires just as much manpower to deliver as their precious little greeting cards to... Newman! No!
What?
Human. It's human to be moved by a fragrance.
That's so true.
Her bouquet cleaved his hardened shell and fondled his muscled heart. He imbibed her glistening spell just before the other shoe fell.
Kramer, that is so lovely.
It's by an unknown 20th century poet.
Oh, what's his name?
Newman.
Not just a great Kramer scene, but a great assist from Newman as well. So nice little tag team there.
Oh yeah, I kind of cheated this section where I didn't just choose like solo appearances. There's usually some help from supporting characters, but
sure.
Anyways, let's move on to Elaine. Vinny, what was your favorite Elaine moment in season 8?
I'd have to say my favorite Elaine moment comes from the Foundation.
Hello?
Please hold for Elaine Bennis.
Oh, I don't believe this.
Jerry!
Hey!
Hey, guess who just finished laying out her first issue of the J. Peterman catalog?
How's it look?
It's a peach.
What's that?
I say it's a peach.
Elaine, let me ask you something. When I told you my breakup was mutual, did you believe me?
No. It's weak. No one's gonna buy it and you shouldn't be selling it.
I gotta do some research here.
Hey, me talking? You know, between you and me, I always thought Kramer was a bit of a doofus. But he believed in me. You did not. So as I see it, he's not the doofus. You are the doofus.
Oh, I'm the doofus.
Yeah. You, Jerry, are the doofus.
That moment when she's like, "Hey, me talking," like she's confident, but has
she's
no way to.
It's all gone straight to her head.
I do enjoy the feet up on the desk, legs crossed, and her talking with the cigar in her mouth. Very memorable for me.
Oh, excellent pick. Well, I was a little stuck. As you can see on my list here, I wrote out like 5 options. I love the freak out during the English Patient. The Little Kicks dance, a classic, but it is more of a physical gag. I'm going to go with the back and forth between Elaine, Peggy, and Peterman in the Susie.
Mr. Peterman, Peggy, I guess we should just get this over with.
Just hold on a minute. Still one short.
Oh. No, we're not.
Susie has been very rude to me.
Well, Elaine has nothing but good things to say about Susie.
Look, we don't have to name names or point fingers or name names. Me and her have had our problems. She and I have had our problems. You and I, and she and you.
Don't you drag me into this. This is between you and her and her.
Yes, and I'm convinced that if she were here with us today, she would agree with me too.
Who?
Her?
Where is she?
This is part of the problem. I thought I was part of this problem. You're a huge part of the problem. But I think that at its core, this is a Susie and Elaine problem that requires a Susie and Elaine solution. And who better to do that than Elaine and Susie, Susie and Elaine.
Well, now that we have that cleared up, why don't the 3 of us have lunch?
What? Oh, I'm coming. I
She is the best. What was your name again?
Now, Vinny, let's move over to your favorite George scene from season 8. What do you got?
I have 2 favorite George moments. So the first one requires me to make a phone call. Excuse me.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home.
George, are you there? I hate that stupid message. I know you're avoiding me. I'm at the office. Please call me. I've got to talk to you.
Hi, Allison. Oh, I guess you're not at home. I probably should have tried you at the office. Anyway, good to hear from you. Really looking forward to the ball.
Not only is the message great, the phone message. What's his message like?
That's nice.
But him kind of like bopping his head to the song and
doing
then
it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, shirking his shoulders. Where could I be? And he's really chomping away on that popcorn. It's just a great visual and wonderfully done by Jason.
He also does the when he calls Allison back, he's like, "Can't wait to go to the ball." Hangs up. Ha ha. That cackle. Yeah, there it is.
And there's a second moment I really enjoyed with George. Great blooper to come from it as well. But when Jerry gets his kitchen redone, and George is freaking out because of how obtrusive the new cabinet scheme is, and Jerry wants the hat, the 7 5/8. And what if a pinhead comes around? I gotta figure out the head sizes of 40,000 people. So I thought that was an excellent runner-up scene as well.
I don't think we played the blooper in that scene, but it's, George says, "What hat size?"
5 7/8.
I doubt that.
7 5/8.
Yeah. Good stuff. I really had a tough time picking my favorite George moment. I'd love to just play a clip from the comeback with, jerk store, I had sex with your wife. Everyone knows that though. So I'm going with, I think, just a nice, serious bit of acting from Jason in the Andrea Doria.
I was handcuffed to the bed in my underwear, where I remained, for she certainly seemed interested in me. Though she was attractive, she was also, in fact, a Nazi. The water that I had been swimming in was very cold. And when I dropped the towel, there had been significant shrinkage. My parents were looking at me. So there I was, with a marble rye hanging from the end of a fishing pole. In closing, these stories have not been embellished because they need no embellishment. They are simply, horrifyingly, the story of my life as a short, stocky, slow-witted, bald man. Thank you. Oh, also, my fiance died from licking toxic envelopes that I picked out. Thanks again.
So, I guess what I was trying to say is, not a whole lot of laughs there. But I just like that we're getting this nice kind of like review of some classic George storylines. It's almost like dipping your toe into the clip show. And that the board, they're all crying. They're all just so moved by these traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
I like that. And for a brief while, George is winning,
Yeah.
So there we go. Let's move over to our favorite Jerry moments. Vinny, what do you got?
There's two. I'll give you two again. One will be a more visual gag.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah. That's good.
So we talked about Jenna being the favorite girlfriend. When Jerry, you see that wonderful shot that Andy Ackerman created where they took the bottom off the toilet bowl and put the camera under there. Is that how they did it? Yeah.
Yeah, they filled it with water or plexiglass water than the camera.
When you see Jerry roll up his sleeve and then as he goes to plunge his hand into the toilet bowl, you see him show his teeth, and he's like, ah! He's so repulsed to have to stick his hand into the toilet. But that upshot is so funny to me. So that's my favorite.
It's sort of similar moment to the scalpel, like heads up,
yeah,
but looking down.
So there's that. I guess it goes without saying my favorite Jerry dialogue moment would come from the Bizarro Jerry.
Jerry. Hey, Jerry, I'm right here. You're late?
Yeah, well, I got held up, you know. What happened to your hand?
Like you care.
Work piled up, I lost track.
Oh, sure. You and your work. Elaine's off in the bizarro world. George only calls when he wants something. And I'm left sitting here like this plate of cold chicken, which, by the way, was for two. But I ordered in. It's still effort.
Oh, jeez.
What's wrong?
It's my stomach.
You're probably getting an ulcer. This job is killing you. It's killing us.
You know what? You're right. These reports, they can wait a couple of hours. What do you say we go out tonight, any place you want?
The coffee shop?
You got it, buddy.
I'll call George.
Jerry's so upset that the whole system's breaking down, and him and Kramer have this domestic partnership, and like you care, you know. I don't know. I just thought it was great acting by Jerry and a wonderful, back and forth between Michael and Jerry.
I want to have that conversation with you. Like, if we're ever having like a bad time, be like, look, it's killing you. It's killing us.
Yes.
Well, like you, Vinny, I had 2 clips as well, or 2 picks, but I think I'm going to just choose one to play a clip from. I want to give a shout out, though, to Jerry, the character and the actor in the Yada Yada, when he's in the confessional booth with the priest and he's sitting on the kneeler.
Yes.
Just cracking inappropriate jokes about dentists. Great scene. We played it recently, so that's why I'm going to go with this clip from the chicken roaster instead.
I'm on no sleep. No sleep. You don't know what it's like in there. All night long, things are creaking and cracking, and that red light is burning my brain.
You look a little stressed.
Oh, I'm stressed.
So, Kramer, what am I supposed to do if I don't have that fur hat by 4 o'clock? They're going to take me down like Nixon.
You know my friend Bob Sacramento?
I thought he was Kramer's friend.
Well, he called last night about 3 a.m. and we got to talking. He sells Russian hats down at Battery Park. $40.
$40? Are they sable?
No, but the difference is negligible.
Oh, yeah, I like this idea.
All right, let's give it a shot. Let's go.
Giddy up.
There's another one of those examples of changing the dynamic again, where now Kramer is assuming, or Jerry's assuming the role of Kramer, and Jerry pulls it off wonderfully. You know, this kid can act.
And it's so rewarding at this point in the show too, since these characters are so well established. You can play around with, I know, these kind of storylines, but I'm just such a sucker for either characters like switching places, like Elaine getting dumb, George getting smart, or bizarro versions, whether it's Kevin, Gene, and Feldman, or Tom Pepper, Michael Barth, Sandy Robbins. It's just, again, maybe it's like easy to do, to like parody yourself, but I always think it's gold. So
it's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah. All right. Another segment we have here. This is our favorite cold open. We usually list our favorite stand-up, but starting season 8 officially, no more stand-up until the finale, I guess. Yeah. I think these are pretty fun to discuss because they're usually cut from syndication. So maybe most listeners out there aren't familiar with these cold opens. I know some of these, Vinny, fell flat with us. Others we really loved. Which is your favorite cold open from season 8?
I actually had to go consult my notes with which one was my favorite because I couldn't remember because there's so many. So first I'll give you my honorable mentions. One was from the Czechs with Jerry doing his stand-up routine, a walk and talk about OTC medications, and Elaine giving him feedback. Hit good, harder. Yeah. This sounds like a bit. The other thing, so there's my honorable mention. And then the one that I found that I love the most comes from the Yada Yada.
All right, you're on a desert island. You can bring 5 books. Which 5 do you take?
I gotta read 5 books?
All right, 1. Come on.
I got it. 3 Musketeers.
You've read that?
No, I'm saving it for the island.
Let's start this whole thing over. Best Chamberlain, Wilt, Richard, or Neville?
For the desert island?
Okay.
Richard.
You know, he was in the Three Musketeers.
Exactly. Save me having to read the book.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. I gotta see somebody.
It's probably the best setting for a cold open. It's just Jerry and George at a urinal, right?
Yep.
And I don't think we ever see their face. It's just the back of their heads.
Yeah. They built the set purely for that cold open, which I thought was kind of cool. And that little capper joke, not only do you get the nice bit about 5 books, Desert Island, but then George not being able to pee, and Jerry's like, what's going on over there? Got to see somebody.
Well, like you, I had trouble remembering the cold opens. It was a tough one, but I think I'm going to go with this cold open from The Abstinence.
Maybe you and Kramer are flying over the Andes.
Why are we flying over the Andes?
We got a soccer game in Chile. Anyway, the plane crashes. Who are you going to eat to survive?
Kramer.
So fast? What about me?
No.
Kramer's so stringy. I'm plump, juicy.
Kramer's got more muscle, higher protein contents, better for you.
Well, I would eat you.
It's very nice, I guess.
I still don't see why you wouldn't eat me. I'm your best friend.
Look, if other people are having some, I'll try you.
Thank you.
Can I have a piece of that?
No.
It's pretty silly, but I love the discussion, and I love that last line, like, can I have a bite? No.
No. And, you know, even at the point of coming to cannibalism, Jerry's still thinking about his health, which I admire, staying true to his character.
Yes. Well, Vinny, our last segment for a recap here is probably my favorite. It's our favorite blooper or bloopers from season 8. We got time, so let's go through, I guess, up to 3 if you have them listed.
Now, you said up to 3, but I picked 5. Is that okay?
That's totally acceptable.
Okay.
In no particular order, Vinny. Why don't we just, bounce back and forth?
Okay. This first favorite blooper is going to be Kramer recounting his night that he spent at Liza's.
Hey, Scarsdale Surprise. That's the musical about the Scarsdale diet doctor murder.
Featuring the mind-blowing performance of Miss Raquel Rauch.
I've never seen her work.
Raquel Rauch? Scarsdale Surprise. That's the musical about the Scarsdale diet doctor murder.
Yes, featuring the mind-blowing performance of Miss Raquel Rauch.
You didn't even see it.
Hey, I'm not gonna let you bring me down on this one, Jerry. I was partying all night. Yeah, I saw the sunrise with Liza.
Manelli?
No.
Relch?
So I love Irish Kramer, how he rolls all his R's and relches, and it's so good.
I think that's Scottish.
I was on the border.
Oh, what's the difference? Sorry. Yeah, that's a great one. We just talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I still can't roll those R's, but can we hear it just one last time, Vinny?
Mr. Raquel Relch.
Well, I think I'm going to go with another Kramer blooper here. It's pretty short, but it's from the episode The Little Kicks when Jerry and Kramer are sitting down to watch Death Blow.
Ah.
Go get him, Death Boy.
Yeah, action.
Go get him, Death Boy.
Death blow.
That happens a lot. Whenever, Michael flubs a line, they do a second take and they'll flub it again. Like it takes him a while to.
Yeah, it's like that dialogue's kind of wired in his brain, and it's hard for him to change it on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
But you get some great moments as a result.
Yes.
So much so, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I know what you're going to say.
So much so that my next blooper is a similar situation.
So is their trip over?
No, we're just scaling back a little. Yeah, George, he's gonna, give us a tour of Yankee Studios.
Yankee Studios.
It's a takeoff place like Universal.
I see.
Okay.
Yes.
50,000 yen.
Don't do this to me now.
Okay.
I'm barely.
Okay.
Oh.
50,000 yen, isn't that?
Oh,
No, you're not. Okay.
50,000 yen, isn't that only a few $100s?
well, evidently.
So is their trip over?
No, we're scaling back a little, that's all. Yeah, George, he's going to give us a tour of Yankee Studios. Oh, Jesus.
That was exactly the scene I was going to bring up. There's something about Michael, well, everyone's bloopers that, they almost like ruin like accurate things where, at trivia once I said Yankee Studios as a joke and everyone's like Yankee Stadium. So I look like the
No, you're the diehard there. But you got some trivia people now that name their teams Yankee Studios.
That's
so
right.
They get it. They test.
Good point. All right. Well, let's move away from Kramer here for a second. And, well, I don't know how funny this is, but I love Barney Martin, Morty Seinfeld. And, we don't really get him in many bloopers, but he had a pretty big arc this season when he started working at the Peterman Company. Yeah. And this is a scene where he's working in Elaine's office and he's just stumbling over what the J stands for in J. Peterman.
If we don't make that Prince William children's pajamas flame retardant, we can save an extra 30 cents a unit. Wait till I tell Jacopo. Wait till I tell Jacopo. Jacopo. Wait till I tell Jacopo. Give me a name, for Christ's sake.
I find this man so adorable, and the way I don't know how he does that whistle. I can't do it, and he kind of like hits his jowls to jog his memory or something. But it's so adorable, and not only this blooper, he has a second one that's really good where. I don't know if you want to play it, but he repeats the same line. He kind of has a senior moment.
Oh.
And John O'Hurley has a little fun with it.
Yeah, he's like, if we're going to be working to all hours of the night here, can we get some food in here?
It's only 5:15.
And then later he says the same line.
Once again, it's only 5:15. But they'll have a little laugh at his expense, which is nice.
Well, Vinny, do you have another blooper? We got time once again. Let's keep it going.
All these bloopers tend to have cigars for some reason, but Mike, this is in a chicken roaster when Jerry confronts Kramer because he's got that. What's with that red light?
What the hell is going on in there?
What?
The light.
Oh, the red? Yeah, it's a chicken roaster sign. Well, it's right across from my window.
What's going on in there?
What?
That light.
Oh, the red? Yeah, it's a chicken roaster sign. Well, it's right across from my window.
Can't you shut the shades?
Well, they are shut. Oh, by the way...
The light.
Oh, the red?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a chicken roaster sign. Well, it's right across from my window.
My favorite part about that blooper is the little noises that Michael's making with his mouth. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but when he takes an inhalation of the cigar, you hear the... And I think that coupled with Michael's facial expressions just makes Jerry crack, and that's what makes it such a great blooper.
Well, we still have another Kramer smoking blooper to play, but first, we'll cut over to a memorial service for dear old Susie who passed away.
And I will never forget that one night, hunched over the catalog. That sweet smell of correction fluid still hung in the air. Susie and I became more than employer and employee.
Yeah, but he didn't sleep with both of them. Yeah, but he didn't sleep with both of them.
But I never heard her cries for help. And now, Susie is gone.
Hold on! Susie didn't commit suicide. She was murdered by Jerry Seinfeld.
This will be the last time we bring this up, but I can't tell you how happy it made me when we tweeted that blooper and Julia retweeted it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, again, I never understood the whole addiction of social media people get with tweets and retweets, but man, yeah, riding high that night.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't it just so great to see someone like Julia crack on screen? I don't know why. Out of all the 4 characters, she's always my favorite.
Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah. Can you rank who's your favorite blooper?
My favorite Elaine blooper?
No. Like, who's your favorite one to crack?
Oh, definitely Julia, and then I think Michael's my least favorite because there's so many bloopers where he's
I have a line. If we could just get to it.
Yeah. Or like he'll like hit people, and it's like, all right.
Yeah. I would say Julia, Jerry. And then it's a toss-up between Michael and Jason.
The thing I love about Jason is he's usually pretty witty.
Yes.
You know, on the spot, he can usually come up with a funny joke. So I really like that. But there's really nothing in terms of the guys breaking. There's nothing better than Jerry losing it. Like the All right, let's go over to another classic blooper here. This is when Kramer invites Jerry over for pipe night.
What happened to your face? It looks like an old catcher's mitt.
What are you talking about?
It's all that's... Come on.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you ought to come over. Tonight's pipe night.
No, thanks. Okay, I'm ready. No, thanks.
Well, we got mine.
It's from all that smoke. You've experienced a lifetime of smoking in 72 hours. Well, what did you expect?
Jerry, you know, my face is my livelihood. You know, everything I have, you know, I owe to my face. My allure, you know, my twinkle.
You know,
what?
Your teeth are all brown.
No. Look away, I'm hideous.
This is one of those scenes where whenever you watch it in the episode, like the properly edited scene, you can't help but think of the blooper.
Oh, yeah. It magnifies the scene itself, you know?
Yeah, like, all right, what take was that one from? Is Jerry laughing there?
Yeah.
It's seamless, but once you see the blooper, you can't unsee it. Now, Vinny, why don't you announce our probably our favorite, one of our favorites, and I think you could argue the best Seinfeld blooper of all time.
Yep, I would concur, and it has to do with one of our favorite actors to grace the Seinfeld stage, and that is featuring none other than Jerry Stiller as Frank Costanza going one-on-one against Elaine Bennis.
Who put you up to this? Was it her?
All right, wait a minute. I think you've got it backwards.
My George isn't clever enough to hatch a scheme like this.
You got that right.
What the hell does that mean?
It means whatever the hell you want it to mean.
You're saying you want a piece of me? My George isn't clever enough to hatch a scheme like this.
You got that right.
What the hell does that mean?
Oh,
What the hell does that...
come on. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
You saying you want a piece of me?
Say that one more time.
You saying you want a piece of me? You saying you want a piece of me?
I can drop you like a bag of dirt.
You want a piece of me? You got it!
And there's a great moment in that blooper where you see them embrace. Like Julia's laughing, but she's kind of falling into Jerry, and they kind of share just a nice little hug. And that's one of those moments that I really like seeing on my favorite show, to see the actors love working with each other. So it's a double for that one.
It's also cool to see a scene continue after the freeze frame.
Yeah.
Usually it just freezes with her fist up in the air, but
yeah.
Was that Jerry Stiller?
Yeah.
That cracked me up. Well, Vinny, let's move over to our listener feedback here. This is where we'll go over some emails and play some voicemails from our listeners. I figured we could start it off by talking about some episodes we recently discussed on Seinfeld. Listener Alex called in about the episode The Millennium. In fact, many listeners wrote and called in about this episode, but we're just going to play Alex's voicemail here. I thought this issue was dead. So, originally in the episode, Jerry tells Newman, "Oh, you're having a millennium party. The real millennium is 2001, so your party's going to be 1 year late." And we didn't make any noise about it. A lot of listeners wrote in saying, well, if Newman's party was in 2000, wouldn't his party be 1 year early?
Yes.
And that's sort of how you felt about it too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here is Alex's thoughts on the matter.
Hey guys, this is Alex from San Antonio. I just listened to the Muffin Tops episode where you recap the end of the Millennium episode, in which Jerry says that Newman's party is going to be 1 year late and quite lame. You also mentioned that some other viewers pointed out that that was incorrect, and my opinion is that that was correct, and it took me a long time to figure it out. But Jerry asks Newman if he set his party up for the Millennium New Year, and Newman says, as a matter of fact, I did. So everyone was excited for the 2000 New Year and not the 2001 New Year. So his party, Newman's party, for the Millennium New Year would be 2001 and late, because no one cared about the 2001 party. They always cared about the 2000 party. Anyway, hope that made sense, and just a thought I had supporting the idea that maybe the Seinfeld writers were not incorrect in what they said. All right, have a good one. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from, Alex. That's an excellent point that he makes. And I guess I still don't quite understand when they say the Millennium New Year, what that means. What's the definition of that?
Well, or what Jerry is implying. I think that's where people get tripped up.
Yeah, but if the way Alex explains it, it makes perfect sense to me.
Right.
And then by that rationale, what Jerry says then makes perfect sense.
But we could go either way.
Yeah.
I think 1 year late totally works in that context, or you could just chalk it up to an error. It's just really how you interpret the line. But yeah, I thought Alex really shed some good light on that.
Well, I find it hard to believe that the entire NBC corporation, the whole staff of Seinfeld writers, Jerry Seinfeld, Dave Mandel, Jeff Shaver, all those guys, would let this slip through. These are all, I'm sure Tom Gamble and Max Pross, who are Harvard writers who were consulting, would have been like, guys, you might want to change this.
Right.
So I feel like Alex's explanation is much more appropriate than what I came up with.
No, I think everyone got the. I think everyone got the concept. I think it was just how people interpreted that Jerry line.
Yeah, I think that line probably needed to be tweaked or just established of what that means.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean that Kramer also, since they were competing for the date, did Kramer also plan his a year late? Because these are two.
He said December 31st, 1999. The Millennium. I told you about this.
But then you got to come to my party? You don't go to Newman's.
Another,
you know what
I mean? I wouldn't put it past Kramer and Newman to be planning two parties on two different dates. And they don't realize it.
Yeah. So it's fun to kind of debate this, but Alex makes an excellent point.
Yeah. And again, thanks to everyone who wrote in about the second round of discussion on the Millennium. Let's see. Oh, we have another voicemail here. This one comes from Jamie. She wants to talk about a character that we met in the Muffin Tops.
Hey, Matt and Vinny. This is Jamie from Newport News, Virginia, and love your podcast. And talking about the Muffin Tops from last week, I didn't know if you guys realized that Rebecca De Mornay was a actress in the 90s. I don't know if you're too young for that, but I just wanted to point that out to you guys. And again, love the podcast. Listen to it all the time. All right. Bye.
Oh, what a sweetie.
So I guess this listener feedback section is just turning into an attempt to me to like clear up our mistakes.
Sure.
But what the hell did we say in the Muffin Tops to suggest we don't know who Rebecca De Mornay is? A lot of people have written in to be like, guys, really? Like maybe this will help you. And like it's like a link to her IMDb page.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I always remembered her from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle growing up.
Sure.
I wasn't familiar with any of her other work, but I knew she was an actress, and that's why I made that line of the Jerry Levine or Artie Levine thing. Comparing your name to a celebrity, but
right.
we must have missed it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. I guess we'll have to go back to the tape to really understand. But what's that?
That sounds like a lot of work.
But yeah, I was just shocked. I'm like, what did we imply? I think we said something like Jerry came up with the name in the writers' room, like Rebecca De Mornay. Like he came up with it out of nowhere. Maybe that's what got people.
Instead of saying he came up with this actor's name to use.
Right. And I thought that was the joke too, that it's such obviously not her birth name. In fact, let me look it up. Her original, she was born Rebecca Jane Perch.
Are we talking about the actress Rebecca De Mornay or the character in the show?
The actress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. So apologies to losing some respect from our listeners, not knowing who Rebecca De Mornay is.
That happened long ago.
Hand That Rocks the Cradle, great movie. Risky Business. Also, I think the movie I watched the most was Three Musketeers. Did you ever see that?
Was it a Disney movie? PT?
Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland, Tim Curry.
Oh.
Charlie Sheen.
I remember.
Yeah, good movie. Anyways. What else do we have here? Oh, we had also several listeners wrote in about the Muffin Tops, that final sequence over the credits of Newman arriving at Top of the Muffin in that fast car, and Elaine says they call him a cleaner. He makes problems go away. We tied that into Pulp Fiction pretty much. Harvey Keitel's character, the Wolf, who arrives at Quentin Tarantino, Jimmy's house, in a fast car, and he's like a very blunt, quick-talking guy who helps fix issues. But I guess you could also connect the concept of a cleaner to a few movies. There was also Point of No Return, where Harvey Keitel played a character, Victor the Cleaner. A movie I'm more familiar with, The Professional, where Jean Reno plays Leon. He's also referred to as a cleaner.
All right.
He's more of an assassin.
What about Mr. Mom, where Michael Keaton cleans a house? He's a cleaner.
Very good.
Yeah.
Or what about Cindy the Maid?
Oh, yep. Suburban Commando featuring Hulk Hogan.
Basically, the concept, I think, and term is used by like Luc Besson a lot, or just people who write about hitmen or mobsters, what have you. It also kind of makes me think of like Mike when he's introduced in Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that with Jane and how he's there to just kind of clean up the situation.
Isn't that other guy, the one who sells vacuums, also kind of a cleaner because he kind of gives you a new identity?
And he provides you with vacuums, yeah.
Ooh, what a great capper to this listener question that way. But I felt like the Pulp Fiction was the best reference of that because there's the line where he's like, if I'm Kurt, it's because time is of the essence. Doesn't Harvey Keitel say the exact same thing or something very similar to it?
He says, I talk fast, I think fast. Like, clean the car.
That's funny. It would have been funny if Newman's like, I want to get all the pieces of muffin, I want to get the muffin out of the, scrub deep in there and get all the little fragments of muffin out of there, something like that. That would have been funny.
That's good. I like that. Well, what else we got here? Someone was asking. I didn't get a name in the email. It was sent at the last minute last night, like at 11:59 p.m. Why do you think Jerry went back to Tim Whatley and the yada yada after he was defiled while under the gas in the Jimmy?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like that question. We didn't bring that up during the yada yada.
Well, given Jerry's stand-up and, what we've seen in the show, I would say because he's the best. You got to go to my dentist. He's the best.
You know how difficult it is to find a good dentist?
Exactly. Yeah, there's no Zorn or Zutros. He's already at W. I mean, come on. Probably gone through the phone book.
Yeah.
But you could argue that he's the best, or possibly that Jerry had some short-term memory loss, and he doesn't remember it. Maybe he was in the fog when he found out that he was damaged goods, and now it's in his psyche now.
I'll buy it. All right.
I don't know. You got anything?
I just chalked it up to Tim is so good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not until the yada yada that Jerry's like, I'm not seeing this guy anymore.
Yeah.
They're still friends, but...
Yeah, it's funny because it seems like Jerry's more put out by the Jewish jokes than the defiling. So go figure.
Another email here comes in from Steve Studle in Australia. He asks, how many times has one of the main four, seen one of the others on TV? Which I thought was a great question. He was sort of, tying this into the Summer of George when George sees Kramer get his Tony. But he threw out another suggestion, Kramer seeing George at the U.S. Open.
There's George!
Also, we don't see the TV, but Jerry sees George as Bodysuit Man.
Yeah.
Any come to your mind?
Jerry and George seeing Kramer being accused of the Smog Strangler.
Yeah, there's like a little photo of him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, when they were at the Yankee game and Elaine got thrown out, did Jerry just read about that in the paper? He didn't see that on TV, right?
Oh, I don't know. Did Jerry even find out about it?
Or was it on the radio? Because he's like, and there's a woman causing a scene down there.
Oh,
she's being escorted out. I don't remember if it was on TV or the radio, maybe.
Oh, right. And don't they turn off something like that. All right, I'll put that in the maybe category. Well done.
Okay. So let's see. Who else is...
I think there's one that's more obvious to the point where, like, the characters, like, say, oh my gosh, look, it's this person.
It's got to be Kramer, right?
Mm-hmm. It's always Kramer.
Yeah. On TV... Oh, Murphy Brown.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's Kramer. He's on Murphy Brown. There he is.
I think it seems like Julia's the only one who didn't make it on the TV.
Excellent.
Right?
Yeah, that was my thought as well. Now, can you mention the other Jerry George appearances? Well, I already mentioned the U.S. Open, but there's another. So this is the weird thing. Like, the characters sometimes appear on TV, but no one is there to watch it, or like one of the main four isn't there to watch it.
Yeah. So the pilot, Jerry plays himself on a TV show.
I didn't even consider that. That's actually a really good one. Nice.
That's meta, baby. What else? Oh, Jerry on the news. He seemed a little freaked out.
That's it. No more questions.
And then I guess any Jerry appearance on the Tonight Show.
Didn't consider that either. There is another George appearance though on TV. I don't think anyone that we know of was there to see it.
Ooh. So somebody see it then?
I think the camera just cuts to like a random TV.
Ooh. guess I'm a little out of my league here. What do you got? I'm blanking.
I'll give you a hint. AstroTurf.
Oh, O'Brien.
I'm not O'Brien.
I'm not O'Brien. Oh.
Yeah, I like questions like that. It's
fun trivia. Yeah.
It's a little nutty, but it's fun. Let's move to another email here. This is from Zach Killian. His question is, for each of the main four, which season do we think is their best? And I thought that was a great question, a tough one to answer. Zach gives an example here, and it kind of helps, I think, to, it's a nice starting point.
It's too tough, but
he says Jerry is season 4, Elaine is season 5, George is season 7, and Kramer is season 8.
Ooh. So this season was his favorite for Kramer.
Yeah, and I had trouble with Kramer at first, but let me throw something out there and see if you agree with it. I don't think anyone reached their stride until season 4, right? So no one's season is going to be the first 3, and personally, things feel off for most of the characters in 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Kramer is really the only one, I think, who got better each season. Like even up to 9.
Because the style of the show suited his character and his type of comedy. I think.
So I think Zach is spot on. Kramer has to be either 8 or 9.
Sure.
And really as a whole, I kind of agree with his list. I guess Jerry's up for debate. I just like season 4, so I'll say 4 for Jerry.
Sure.
But I might say George's best was season 5, not season 7.
Now forgive me because I always forget what season they're in. Is that the opposite?
Yes.
Does it end with the opposite? Yeah. So that might be my favorite because of we see George down, and then it ends with him getting a little bit of luck.
He's
and
living
I really
at home
enjoyed that.
too.
Yes. Great arc that season.
The marine biologist, the fire, some great George storylines.
Yeah. And with regards to Elaine, it has to be a season where she has the big wall of hair because that's my favorite era of Elaine, when she's kind of still optimistic and still kind of has hope. Now she's kind of just turned, like to the dark side, if you will. But like when she's going after John F. Kennedy Jr. or I touched him, that era of Elaine, I guess working for Pendant or yeah, I would say 4 or 5 for Elaine. So I pretty much agree with Zach here.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Elaine. It's funny, the hair is really the best way to describe the version or the phase we like the most. But I like just Elaine more as a character when she works at Pendant than when she works for Mr. Pitt or Mr. Peterman.
I agree, yeah.
So yeah, nice job, Zach. Very good picks there.
Good question.
All right, another email here. This one comes from Juliana Vance. Are all 4 main characters only children? And if so, do you think how they all act is a take on the neuroticism of being only children? So, well, to answer Juliana's first question, they're not all only children. For some reason, I thought they were when she wrote this. I'm like, yeah, she's right. But Elaine does have a sister, Gail, who... I think is pretty much confirmed because she gets brought up in several episodes. She's established. I think we can all say, despite what was mentioned in like the Chinese restaurant or the suicide, George and Jerry do not have siblings.
I mean, there was dialogue that stated Jerry had a sister and then George had a brother, but then the show kind of moves on and they just, I think, disregard that. So it looks like only Elaine would be the one to have a sibling.
In fact, there was that wild fan theory or conspiracy that George did have a brother and he died or something like that. Do you remember that?
No.
I think it was on Cracked, and a listener sent it in recently. I'll try to find it for the show notes, but to add to that, I think Jason has gone on the record saying if we ever saw George's brother, he wanted Larry to play him.
Ooh, so, how great would that have been?
Yeah, pretty cool. But getting back to Juliana's question, it is kind of an interesting, I don't know much about psychology, but just interesting how these 4 people gravitate towards each other because while 3 of them are only children, Elaine doesn't really seem to have that close a relationship with her family.
Yeah, I mean, Elaine comes from a broken home. Her dad's an alcoholic. The Costanzas kind of speak for themselves. They should be most likely divorced, but them staying together gives you George Costanza. Kramer, we don't know too much about his upbringing other than, he had to be in bed by 9 o'clock or he doesn't tell you what happened. And his mother and him don't see eye to eye. We know nothing about his father.
We assume he didn't grow up with a father, figure.
Yeah, sure. Birth father. Thinking about that still. And then Jerry seems to have had the most healthy upbringing from what we see.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of coddled by his parents. He's just a little selfish, But
right.
yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting how, siblings don't really factor into the show at all.
Mm-hmm.
My mother to my sister to my cousin. Yeah. Well, speaking of parents and families, I guess, let's play a voicemail here from Mr. Fry.
Hi, guys. This is Mr. Fry talking again. Big fan. I'm just going to call this a missed opportunity. If George's father was in Korea and Elaine's father was in Korea, wouldn't it have been funny if they actually met somehow and they didn't know their kids were friends? I just call this a missed opportunity. It's George's father and Elaine's father should have met in Korea somehow, some way, and they just never knew each other's kids were friends. That would have been a hysterical episode if both parents met at a Korea War reunion or something. That would have been hysterical. Okay, hear you on the next podcast. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Well, that is a wild idea, Mr. Fry. I'm trying to put it together here because we hear of Alton Bennis's war record in the jacket. Tail gunner. Sprayed his guts all over the Pacific. Do we learn what battalion he's in or what unit?
Oh wow,
They might say that, and then we know that Frank was in the Fighting 103rd. And
I think we just get Frank's.
Okay, so it's possible.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm looking at their birth years, and Julia, Jason, way too young to have been born during the Korean War. So it would have been interesting though if these two guys did meet each other or fight together or something. And I don't know, maybe in a later episode they come together and they're like, "Oh my God, it's you!" Or they had some kind of history.
I'd like to think that Alton was one of the 12 that Frank sent to the latrines that night. And maybe he had a cutlet in his colon. Or maybe he had a
hole in his colon, right? Or crater.
Crater in his colon the size of a cutlet. So maybe Frank sent Alton to the latrines, which is why Alton hates Frank and subsequently George.
Yeah.
And thinks George is gay.
Okay.
Master of the house. And then perhaps Frank doesn't like Elaine because Alton was such a bastard when they did encounter each other in Korea.
There's definitely some material here for a nice bit of fan fiction, I think.
I do like this though.
And
good pickup.
Yeah, excellent work by Mr. Fry, but I have a feeling during yeah.
Or maybe Kim not only took a lover with Franku, but also with Aldu. Maybe they were. There's another triangle. Maybe they both battled over her affection.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like Dynasty.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, go for it.
All right, let's move over to an email here from listener Michael Gerber. He writes in, I just joined a fantasy basketball league. I wanted my team to have a Seinfeld inside joke as my team name. I was listening to your podcast on the gum a few months back and discovered a line I never noticed before. When Lloyd Braun meets up with Jerry at the movie theater, he greets him with, "Hey, gum buddy." It's one of those lines that just thinking about it makes me laugh. I don't think I even noticed it until you pointed it out. At that moment, I decided if I was ever in a sports fantasy league again, my name would be Lloyd Braun's Gum Buddies. Is this only funny to me? What do you guys think? And also, what would your Seinfeld-themed fantasy team name be?
Huh. Great question. Always love doing a little reference when you do these team names.
Mm-hmm.
I would Lloyd Braun's Gum Buddies. I think people a Seinfeld fan would get. I don't know if they'd pick up on the Gum Buddy line itself, but they would just put Lloyd Braun and Gum together.
Mm-hmm.
But I would kind of tailor it to the sport itself. So if you're doing basketball, I would do like, Michael Jordan's Phony Balonies or the next kill, or no, Reggie Miller Strip Club, or, something with a basketball player and the reference within the show.
Reggie
right?
Miller and Spike Lee at a strip club. I don't know.
Exactly. Reggie Miller got hit with a hot dog. But yeah, something like that. I don't know, but I do like that idea of naming your fantasy team with a Seinfeld reference.
Oh, absolutely. And I guess it's kind of tricky with something like Lloyd Braun's Gum Buddies because you have to find someone that gets that knows that line.
Oh, it's got to be deep, yeah. That one especially right there. I'm trying to think for each sport now. Like for baseball, I would do like Mattingly split his pants.
I like the idea of a team that's already on Seinfeld, like Friendzo Clyde.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
Shell Rochelle the musical.
But yeah, it's tricky, and I wish I had saved my. I do these spreadsheets when I take score for trivia. You were there, and I usually delete. I don't save the team names at the end of the evening, and I wish I started saving them because I'll tell you, after doing it for a couple of years, there are some hilarious names people come up with.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think Lloyd Braun's Gum Buddies is very funny. Nice job on that.
Lloyd Braun. Yeah.
Now, an interesting question here we got on Facebook from listener Nate Budofsky. He's asking, what are your favorite Seinfeld parodies? And wouldn't you know it, Vinny and I read that question differently. Vinny, you read it as, what are your favorite parodies on Seinfeld? Mm-hmm. And I read it as, what are my favorite shows that parody Seinfeld?
Okay.
I think only one of us is right. That would be you.
Sure. Probably not. I've been feeling off lately, and this is probably adding to it.
Well, do you want to list some of your favorite, I guess, movie parodies or TV show parodies on Seinfeld?
We discussed the Pulp Fiction parody as well, already, correct? Mm-hmm. You got the Mrs. Robinson, or the Graduate parody in The Millennium. So you have to help me with some of the old ones. There's the Midnight Cowboy.
There's also Marathon Man. That's a popular one. I guess some people think that the chase scene, like especially across the rooftops with the Cable Plaza, is like Vertigo. Like how there's that, that big gap, and you look down, and it's like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's really tough with parodies because sometimes it can be really objective too, right? Like if it's just a mention, like every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Is that a parody or is that just a reference?
Well, I think don't ever go against the family, Jerry. That whole Godfather bit, and then with that wipe, the door closing wipe. Mm-hmm. I think that's a parody, right?
Yeah. Oh, sure. That's the ending of The Godfather. Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. It's not really a parody per se, but I always love the use of the Superman music in The Race.
Yeah,
I love it. It just suits that scene, I think, so well, and it's really one of my favorite Jerry moments. But yeah, I don't know. I think we could maybe start working on like an official document. You could definitely Google, movies parodied on Seinfeld and find pretty complete lists. But it's funny how when you're put on the spot, it's sort of hard to come up with.
It's tough. Out of all the ones mentioned thus far, I'd probably say the Godfather one strikes my fancy the most.
Mm-hmm. What am I talking about? JFK? That's a huge one.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, too.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said that you thought it was things that have parodied Seinfeld, I thought it was purely because you wanted to talk about your favorite being the Seinfeld XXX parody. Right? Is that why you wanted to talk about that one? Or was it the sequel?
Did you see the image I posted online yesterday?
Nope, haven't been online in eons. Yeah.
I don't know why. I was so sick of all of the Seinfeld like cast promo shots, with the white background. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the image everyone always uses.
Yeah.
And, while I was going through a Google image search, I just found the XXX cast.
Uh-huh. Did you put that up there?
I just put that up there instead.
People were like, who's this?
And some people are like, did you realize you posted the porn cast? But
Sign porn cast.
Something about Gorge just gives it away. But yeah, I think the Seinfeld porn parody is probably the best thing to parody Seinfeld. I mean, it's insane the detail they get into and the references on that.
Yeah, say what you will about porn, and if you're into it or not, but the level of detail that the guy who wrote that put into with all the Seinfeld references and the even the sets, like you could tell he's a Seinfeld fan.
It's the Hulu apartment. Live from New York, it's James Dean. Yeah, it's pretty. It's not something you put on after a long day at the office, but it's definitely like funny and kind of weird. And if you're weird enough, you might buy it for your friend for his birthday, right?
First time you meet his soon-to-be wife is when you give it to him too. But whatever.
It was a good bonding moment, I thought. Yeah. Well, I do have a few Seinfeld parodies that I want to mention here, at least, because throughout the 90s, sketch shows would parody Seinfeld, and just a few have stuck with me over the years. The first one being from In Living Color during season 5, which isn't really a good season. It's when like the Wayans left and Jim Carrey, is like just starting he was blowing up really. So he kind of like took over the show, I feel. And it just like lost a lot of, I think, what made it special. Having said that, there's the Seinfeld parody where Jim Carrey plays Jerry and Jay Leggett plays George. And they just do a great job imitating these characters when they find themselves in like a dangerous part of the city. And they basically start like or Jerry just can't like leave his stand-up bit, and he's like, what's the deal with like the burnt out car? What's the deal with, and
he's always doing shtick.
Yeah, he's always doing shtick. And it eventually, they're overheard by Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson, who are like these gang members, and then they just wind up beating the shit out of Jerry and George. But again, don't know how well it's aged. I'll include a link in the show notes. I just like Jim and Jay's performance. I think it's really funny. But one that I think is more accessible and probably more popular in the late 90s, around the time that Seinfeld went off the air, Conan O'Brien had this great little segment on his show called Seinfeld Auditions. Did you ever see this?
I may have, but I don't remember it.
All right, so the setup is that NBC is really hurting now that Seinfeld is off the air, and so they're looking to kind of like create an imitation or a similar show to Seinfeld, maybe even a remake of Seinfeld, and they're holding auditions to see who can sound like Jerry and who can sound like all the characters. But the only problem is like all the actors they're bringing in like can't speak English very well. And here's the audition tape.
Just because Jerry's leaving doesn't mean you can't keep Seinfeld going. We happen to know that the show's producers are currently searching for a suitable replacement for Jerry Seinfeld. In fact, we actually got our hands on the secret audition tapes of the finalists. And I think you'll agree that producers have found actors with even more talent than Jerry.
Who are these people?
No. Who are these people?
No. Who are these people?
What's the deal with corn nuts? Deal. What's the deal? What's the deal with... What's the deal with corn nuts? Deal. Is it a corn or is it a nut? Is a corn, is a nut. These people. Who are these people?
Who are these people?
What's the deal with corn nuts? What's the deal of corn nuts? What's the deal with corn nuts? What's the deal with corn nuts? What's the deal with those corn nuts?
What's the deal with these corn nuts?
No. Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
What's the deal with corn nuts?
What's the deal with corn nuts?
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
Not corn nuts, corn nuts.
What I'm saying, corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
What's the deal with corn nuts?
What's the deal with corn nuts?
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
Corn nuts.
What's the deal with corn nuts?
What's the deal with corn nuts?
Is it corn or is it a nut?
Is it a corn or is it a nut?
Is it corn?
Is it corn?
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 Or is it a nut?
Or is it a nut?
Who are these people?
Who are these people?
Who are these people? Who are these people? I think you're the one.
Wow, that had me rolling watching that.
I have not watched that for probably 10 years. Do you think Conan could ever like do a skit like that these days?
I'm looking at some of the comments, and based on what the comments are,
Oh God,
I don't think so.
Oh no.
So no.
So now we're racist. God damn it.
Well, yeah, I don't think. It was a funny bit in the 90s, but not today.
Well, you know, if we're not talking about the people auditioning, I love the person who's reading the lines. Is it corn?
Corn. Yeah. Yeah, he's very talented too. And what I'm listening to this and thinking, wow, the highest form of flattery. Jerry is so popular and beloved that people can like do him. They do impressions of him.
Right. So. Oh man. Well, let's move on to, let's see, what can we transition to quickly here? We kind of talked about this earlier. You know, which episode do you think, this is from Dylan C, an email, which episode do you think was the most non-Larry David from this season? Did any of them stick out to you?
The most non-Larry David. Larry David. That is tough. Let me consult the list.
You said something at the top of the episode where, like, you liked how they handled Susan Ross, and
I did.
You said something like Larry would have approved of that.
I think so.
I wonder, though, if he would have done the arc differently, and I don't know exactly what he would have done. Maybe he would have abandoned the whole Susan Ross thing altogether.
It's possible. I don't know. I thought Larry was very big into continuity, or at least like he didn't underestimate the audience.
Mm-hmm.
He felt that they were intelligent enough to ask, well, what happened with Susan? What happened with her family based on last season? So I feel like he would have addressed it. Mm-hmm. Although in that recent podcast they did, the Origins podcast, he made a comment about continuity not being that important, which made me kind of sad to hear him no longer find it as important, because that's one of the things I loved about him. But I don't know. I'm sure it would have been different, but I still think he would have done something to address it.
Right. There's also something about the Bizarro Jerry that doesn't really feel like something Larry would do. But then again, he did the pilot with the actors, which is sort of similar.
True. They're similar, but still different. And it's funny because, Larry may have not done the Bizarre Jerry, but yet that is among my favorite episodes.
Sure. So maybe there's we're guilty, or maybe I'm guilty of saying, like, Seinfeld can't be good or as good without Larry David, but obviously Bizarro Jerry kind of destroys that argument.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, something to think about. I'm leaning more towards the Susan Ross arc. I wonder if Larry really would have addressed it altogether. He might have just totally swept it under the rug.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of Susan, we have one last voicemail here to play from listener Peter.
Hey guys, this is Peter Thomas from Spokane, Washington. Just want you to know I love the show. Look forward to it every week. Reflecting on season 8, it's a little morbid, but it's the day before Halloween, so what the hell? I've been wondering, maybe I missed something, but how did it take a family of means like the Rosses 3 months, summer months, to put up Susan's stone? And going a little further with that, what would her funeral have looked like? Like, who would have been there? I was thinking the main four, the Rosses, the Costanzas. She had a brother, Ricky, I think, and Aunt Sarah from the Cheever letters, so them. Sally Weaver, the Wigmaster, Mona, Allison, Jay Crespi, Stu Shermack. Am I missing anybody? Let me know. Could that have been an episode, or would that have been one step too far? Would that have been funny? I don't know. And then because everything is a cinematic universe these days, I think her portrait that hangs in the foundation was painted by Nina. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for bringing my mattress back, and I guess I'll just get my spare key from you whenever. All right, bye.
Nice going, Pinder. That was a solid voicemail.
Wasn't that a great? Yeah, everyone listening, that is a excellent voicemail.
You wanna do a voicemail? You do something like this. No, it had a great question. There's references. I like the way he buttoned it up with the. I'm like, where's he going with this mattress? Oh yeah.
So obscure, but
so, dynamite.
Perfect. Yes.
And a clever idea, I think, for an episode. It's kind of in that dark realm, like he said, but dark for a Seinfeld episode. Yeah, I kind of like that, bringing back all the ties to Susan. And as he's saying them, I'm like, he's going to forget Jay Crespi and Stu Shermack. No, he didn't. And, what's missing? Russell Dalrymple's missing, but that's because he's in the ocean.
Yeah, and...
So I think he got everybody.
I think Rita Kirsten fired her, right? So
she wouldn't show up.
No love lost there. Okay, this
Ooh.
Go for it.
Are we 15-9, my man? 15-9. Are we Jimmy? David Letterman?
Yes.
Yeah, David Letterman would have been there.
I was thinking, or David Letterman, he would have been like hiding behind a tree with like sunglasses on.
Yeah, it would have been like Susan's Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
The Rosses would have reached out and said, Susan was such a big fan of you, and he would have came out of respect for her.
He'll do like a top 10 list at the funeral.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He throws pencils at her headstone.
Now there is one other person I thought of while listening to Peter's voicemail. Like you, I'm like, oh, he got everyone. There's one friend.
Allison? Did he say Allison?
He said Allison, who was with Mona.
Okay.
Right, because they'd be a couple.
Yeah.
Or no, they would. I'm sorry. Allison was with Susan. She has a friend, I think Monica, in The Sponge.
Oh, that's right.
She's
in
like,
the flashback.
Like, Monica, like, don't tell anyone, but he got his number off an AIDS walk list.
Yeah.
So, the only other person I could think of.
Okay. You got to get up pretty early in the morning, Peter, to stump Matthew here.
No. What I'm saying is...
No, that's fabulous.
Peter got a 99.9 on that one. Also, I love the whole Nina painting thing because those are, I think, the only two like portraits really we see on Seinfeld.
The Kramer and the Susan.
Mm-hmm, so why not?
Wow, that would be a deep kind of pull and household thing to have is get a Kramer, which is the popular one, but then have a Susan as well.
It's a shame that we never had all four characters painted at some point, but you got the Timeless Art of Seduction, that kind of fits in there.
Yeah. I wonder, so what would be Jerry's and Elaine's, like...
I think the most iconic Jerry photo is the screwdriver with the stereo.
Yes, okay.
But Elaine, we never see the nipple card.
So it has to, yeah.
It's a tough one.
Are there any other photos of her? Oh, there's the Astro, when she's all drugged up on muscle relaxers.
Yeah, that's true.
So there'd be that, probably the closest one.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on. We only have a few more messages here. This email is from Joel Rosen, and it's about a week late. So, apologies we didn't bring this up, but I'm really glad we're getting to it. Joel wrote in saying, I'm a pretty big fan of Seinfeld and Seincast. I got a notification on Twitter about a huge surprise guest at a local comedy club by the Promenade. This is out in Santa Monica. I was very pleasantly surprised when Larry David and Pete Davidson walked into the comedy club along with Larry's daughter, Cassie. Pete and Cassie are dating. Larry did an amazing set and retold some jokes from the Seinfeld days, notably the Son of Sam gag about a serial killer being Jewish, but he's adopted. And Joel was nice enough to include like a minute or two clip that I guess he filmed with his phone. And, unfortunately, I don't have the clip right now, but we'll include a link in the show notes. You guys can check it out. I had trouble hearing the audio on my headphones, but maybe you guys will get luckier. It's just kind of cool to see Larry on stage,
What
30 years
dream.
later?
Yeah. Oh, jealous of you, Joel.
Mm-hmm. This has, I think, actually been something we've discussed in terms of our bucket list.
Yeah. Or what we want to happen is Larry come back to stand up.
Yes, it'd be great. But check the show notes for our link. And let's see. Another email here comes from Tony Ambrose. What are your plans for Season 9 and the end of Seincast, specifically as it relates to the reunion arc on Curb Your Enthusiasm? Though not quite a real episode, Jerry himself did say that the Curb reunion changes the Seinfeld canon and the story of these characters. So, I must ask you, if Seincast's last individual episode analysis will be the finale, or will it be the reunion? Or will you save that for Curbcast?
Oh boy. Here we go.
Vinny, well, Senator, I'd like to know what you know and when you know it.
Oh, that's my call waiting. I gotta go.
Well, I think that if/when Curbcast happens, we're probably going to save the reunion arc for that because, despite like it falling into the canon, Curb isn't something that everyone watches. So we really do want to keep them as separate shows. But once we get to that reunion arc, we'll definitely kind of retcon where things ended at in the prison. So
yeah, I don't know, because Curb is a fictional show. I don't believe that reunion show to add to the canon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fun like fan fiction or just recreation of what could have happened. But I don't know. I like the way Tony kind of set that up because it's a good way of putting it that it could be the next episode after the finale. But
right.
I don't know. I don't. It's still, for me, that's separate. That's in Curb world, and then Seinfeld ends with the finale for me.
What about the Super Bowl spot when Jerry and George go to Monk's or Tom's restaurant?
No, see, you're doing it. No.
That doesn't count either. No. Newman's in it.
Newman's in it.
Last message here comes from Blake Solomon on Facebook. How does it feel to know that you are in the home stretch of Seincast? We only have 24 episodes left to discuss after this one.
Yeah. I guess to quote the words of the immortal Larry David, it feels pretty good to be in the home stretch.
Yeah.
There have been some times when it's been grueling and tough to get an episode out and to want to turn the mics on, but I'm happy to be a part of this little thing you've created, and I'm thankful that you're able to do all the heavy lifting, and I've been able to soak my hands in ivory liquid these past 2.5 years. Yeah,
it's honestly been one of the best things I could be a part of, not only because it's about Seinfeld, but I'm getting to do it with you. So, it's really good to look back on what we've done and, all the people who we've, been entertaining over the past couple of years. It is also kind of sad because, I don't know, when anything ends, you kind of wish, could we keep going for a little bit longer here? But
it's so hard to say goodbye.
Yeah. I think I'll try to keep that in mind too when we're recording at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And we're like, why are we doing this?
Frig this. I throw the microphone into the wall.
Yeah. But I think we're going to get a little more nostalgic and, reflect on Seincast and Seinfeld as a whole more in season 9. But it is nice to think about because it is on the horizon, the end of Seincast. But, before we wrap up here, Vinny, I just want to give a quick shout out and a thanks to one of our listeners who has been providing weekly artwork that we include a link for in our show notes. Martin Bowe, who is an illustrator, an artist. You can check him out on Twitter, Drawn Out Dad. I believe he's also on Instagram. Again, that's Drawn Out Dad. He provides us with weekly artwork that somehow ties into the episode. It can be kind of like direct, obvious references. Sometimes it can be like a head scratcher, like he's combining one random reference with another random reference, always in clever ways. And He's always sending us artwork the day we release an episode, and he just let me know recently that he won't be continuing it for season 9, which personally makes me very sad. But we're so grateful for all the work he's done for us every week on Seincast.
He's been like a unofficial third member of the show, always contributing the artwork. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, Martin, so much. And your artwork will always be in our show notes. Everyone can check them out there. Vinny, before we wrap up here, is there any last thing you want to say, or any plugs you have, or upcoming events you want to tell people about?
I don't have plugs. No. Thanks for listening, and it was a treat hearing your voicemails. Always love to get the feedback and great questions from all the listeners during this recap. So it was a fun way to wrap up season 8.
Yes. Huge thanks to all the listeners who listen each and every week, who have rated us on iTunes, who have donated to the show especially, and who send in their emails and write messages on Facebook and Twitter. We read and love them all. So thanks again for keeping us afloat here. Vinny, I think that's going to do it for our season 8 recap.
You got that straight. Speaking of emails, you can email us at seincast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or leave us a voicemail at Coco Bosco.
And Seincast will return on Thursday, November 23rd. With what episode, Vinny?
Just in time for Thanksgiving, we're discussing the first episode of season 9, The Butter Shave, featuring Kramer's head on a big turkey.
Turkey?
A big, fat turkey.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out, or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home.